What is up? We are live. We got Brandon Wheeler here from Morelia House doing
What
old
up?
school NPR style.
Yeah,
Live.
I'm excited. I wanted live. This was a special request, man. I'm like, what do you
Yeah.
want
School
live?
NPR style. Uh-oh. I hear it echoing.
No, not anymore. We're good.
Yeah, there we go. Cool. Yeah, we're waiting for Owen. He's a little bit late, but no worries. We'll start without him. And we'll get it going. So we got the chat going on here. Who's shocked that Owen's late? Is that what they're
What's
saying
up,
here?
Tyler? We got Tyler in here. Chris Sexton. What's up, Chris? We got Tony. We got either Jeff or Kendra. I don't know which. You never know.
What do they call THP call him? Gendra? Is that what we're gonna go with? Cool. Yeah, it's been a while since you've been on the show, man. How you been? What you been up to?
Dude, life is good, man. I'm doing better than I deserve. Things are going great.
Awesome.
It's, snakes are good, family's good, work's good, life's good. I could complain, but why?
Yeah, can't ask much more than that, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So you're just coming off the Northwest Carpet Fest, which is the only Carpet Fest this year.
Dude, what a great time, man! I had to go.
Yeah, man. So you flew up there, right?
Yeah. Me and Tony. So Tony's getting married. Congratulations, Tony Vlor.
Yeah.
And he's getting married here in a couple of weeks. So we're trying to figure out what to do with his bachelor party, and we had absolutely no idea. So we're like, let's just buy tickets to Carpet Fest.
There you go.
So that's what we did, and it worked out, and it made it fun. And very cool time. Their house is fantastic. Jeff and Kendra are great. I had never met them before or anything like that. So it was cool. We had fun. We had fun. Morelia bombs were flowing freely throughout the night.
What is a Morelia bomb?
So a couple Carpet Fests ago, I just so happened to have there was C4 that was just kind of sitting on a table, and there's Monster, and we had Jaeger, and I wanted to make a shooter that got me going because I was tired because I had drank a lot that day. And one thing led to another, and they all got put together in a mix. And next thing you know, it's the Morelia bomb, and I've been making them just specifically only at Carpet Fests ever since.
It's a Carpet Fest exclusive. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, no, it's always a good topic starter. You know what I mean? Gets people going.
How many Morelia bombs deep was it before it got was anybody dirty or not dirty? What's the word I'm looking for? Sloppy?
No, we were good. Everybody was pretty well behaved. There was only like 2 guys that had to be cut off, and it was very gently.
Oh, okay.
I mean, no broken ankles. Nobody got punched in the face.
No crazy live streams or anything like that.
No crazy live streams. I'm bummed though, man, because I took a lot of footage while I was there, and I was really excited to kind of do like a whole Carpet Fest video thing.
Right.
I got a lot of great footage, and I woke up in the morning super hungover, and unfortunately, the footage was on my phone, and I was trying to transfer it to my computer, and I was having some memory problems, and I freaking deleted like half of it.
Ah, damn, that sucks.
And it's all the good stuff, because we had close to the end of the night, probably half the party, 2/3 of the party had left. And it was Nick, Mark, and Ryan. We're all sitting around the couch, just kind of having like a round table, just talking snakes. And there's probably 10 other people in the room. And it was some really cool discussion, really good back and forth. Probably some of the stuff that was discussed wasn't meant for the internet anyway. So maybe it was like by design that it got deleted. It was one of those you had to be there kind of moments.
That's the beauty of Carpet Fest, right?
Yeah.
You get to have those conversations that you can't necessarily have online.
Yeah. No, hearing Ryan and Nick go back and forth, like debating each other on shit and fucking, it's just fun. They agree on everything except what they don't agree on and what they don't
Right.
And no, man, just cool people, good times, cool friends, good new friends. That's what it's all about. That's my favorite thing about Carpet Fest is just every time I leave, I gain something from being there.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. Yeah, that was the whole point. I mean, It's hard to believe that it's 10 years ago, 11 years ago.
Oh, my little duder's home.
Hey, what's up?
Hi.
This is
How
Kat.
you doing?
Say hi, Eric.
What's up, man?
Say hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, you got a whole 25 people watching you, man.
What's your favorite snake? Stop, you're being weird. What's your favorite snake?
I want to see.
All right, buddy. You like Juicy? What kind of snake is Juicy?
To see a jungle python.
Jungle Python. Jungle Python. Good job.
There you go.
All right, buddy. I love you. Say bye, guys.
Bye.
All right.
See you later. It's that yellow and black, man. Gets you every time.
Yeah.
So let's I don't know. I'm curious about this. Like, I've noticed that as of late, you're like doing a lot more on YouTube. What brought that about? Like, what's your
I was bored and
okay.
And people kept telling me, hey man, I used to love your videos. Hey man, I used to love your videos, because I had some videos. I've done YouTube on and off, a lot. And I don't know, I just started hatching snakes. I started getting babies laying and had the camera out, and all of a sudden, I had my little video editor app on my phone,
Right?
I'm editing it all together, and I'm sitting there with my phone, figuring it all out and posting stuff, just using nothing but my Android. And I was like, all right, let's do this, So I went ahead and I got my microphone and I got Power Director on my laptop, and I'm not trying to be like a YouTuber. I'm not trying to be like a vlogger. I'm not really trying to be anything. But when there's something interesting going on, I want to be able to talk about it with everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing anything consistently. I'm not doing anything on a schedule. But when I've got some cool stuff I want to share, I'm going to share it.
Yeah, man.
That's all it is. So
that's cool. That's cool. And you had yeah, I think there's a couple of, I've tried it with EB Morelia, and then I stopped. And I think like Riley has to be the most consistent carpet python person that I know that puts out videos. He's banging it out every week, and I know in the background he's saying, "Oh man, I'm dreading doing that." And just keep pushing through, I guess.
Dude, it's hard, because when you have a wife and a kid and a family and a whole collection to clean, and then you need to do the videos, and then depending on what you're doing, maybe you have to edit the videos.
Yeah.
And I'm really slow at editing videos. You know what I mean? Like it's not a fast process for me. So that, I'll spend whatever time it takes for me to film whatever I'm doing, but it might be like a full freaking 10-hour day for me to edit, 10 minutes of footage. And it's hard to keep up with that and still have a wife that like isn't mad at me. So
yeah.
It's easy going on the videos. I'll probably do like one a month. I think that's all I can get away with.
Yeah. I think I get that for editing podcasts. It's just like as soon as I'm done editing one, 3 more are sitting in the queue. It's like, oh man, okay.
Dude, I have no idea how you live your life and you're still married. You don't have kids. That's it.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
That's the thing. That's where you got it. All right.
Mm-hmm. But still. Yeah, still it can be crazy at times, but yeah. What the hell? Where the hell is Owen at? Did he quit on us? I don't know. Maybe he had enough. Let me see. Loading. Where are you? Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm trying to he has Lucas. He's holding him hostage or something. What the heck? So I guess we'll get.
Yeah, that's scary.
I guess we'll get into you're doing a big remodel, and I'm trying to figure this out as we go too, and trying to get the technology and have your room set up exactly what you want. Is that what you're trying to do?
Dude, it's very one step at a time. All right. Like,
yeah,
I started my remodel like a month after I bought my house, which I've owned for a little over a year now. And I don't know when I'm going to finish. I started out, it's got, and I'll post a video when it's done. I've been slowly step by step of the process, kind of editing stuff together and doing the video, but I had to excavate like 1.5 feet deep. in my crawl space, and now I have enough clearance to where I can walk under a beam, and I've got about this much room. So there's 2 beams that I can walk under and not hit my head. But if anybody even this much taller than me, you're fucked.
Oh man,
which is great. I mean, whatever. It's my room. You know what I mean? So I got it excavated out, poured a 4-inch slab, so it's all concrete under there now. I did a brick retaining wall to hold up the rest of the dirt, because I had to stop trenching at one point.
Right.
And then framed on top of that, which that's kind of where it's at now. It's framed. And then I had some electrical ran, and I've got 2 different circuits down there, so I can run a bunch of electricity. I just called the electrician. I'm like, look, just pretend it's going to be a grow room and just run with that. So like, it's really overly wired. Like, it's ready to go,
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing about a reptile room, right? You can never have enough outlets and power, and it's yeah.
I asked him, like, what can the box handle? And he told me. I'm like, do
it. Full power. Cool. So are you looking to expand into that room, or are you, Yeah,
this room I'm in now is going to stay. Nothing really is going to change in here. I may switch out some of my old enclosures, with some new ones eventually. But right now, like, this is a rack right here. I've got, and it's full, and it's got, I think it's the V70 tubs, I think, or what's in here. So all of those need enclosures, right?
Right.
And then I've got another rack that's 16 quarts and 32 quarts, and that's full. So all of those need enclosures. So it's not even like I can fit more stuff than I already have. I can just get my stuff out of racks and into enclosures, which is where I want them to be. I'm not trying to keep carpet pythons in the V7. These are great for growing,
right?
But they're not great for permanent enclosures. So now that I've got stuff getting up to 2.5, almost 2.5 years of age, almost breeding size, I want stuff in minimum to be in a 4x2 by like 18 tall.
Yeah.
Is my minimum, but I'm doing a lot of 4x2x2s. And then there will be some 6-footers down there for more scrubs as well. So I'm going to get all the same type of enclosure. I'm going to have everything custom fitted, perfect, as close as I can get it. And I just want it to be sick. I don't really care how long it takes to get there, just as I can afford it. What's up, dude?
I heard you were going to be here, so I tried to get out of it.
Yeah, I bet. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, I know. But Eric threw a bunch of legal jargon about me being contractually obligated. So here I am.
Yeah,
he's gonna withhold your bonus.
Yeah,
I'm really a jerk behind the scenes, man.
There's a bonus.
You don't get a bonus. I get the bonus.
He keeps the bonus.
Participation bonus.
That's right.
I do get a participation trophy at the end of the year. Yeah, and a round of applause.
And a calendar.
And a calendar. Sometimes all 12 months are in there.
Yeah, sometimes.
I'm such a slacker. I forgot to post photos to get in your guys' calendar. I kept being like, I need to take pictures of stuff.
You got time. You got till October 1st, and then you're a sore loser and you're cut off.
All right, so I've got a week. All right, we'll see what's going on. We'll see what's going on.
Yeah.
Easy there, Iper.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's yeah.
No, not you. I'm talking to him. I said I was an asshole behind the scenes, and he's like, behind the scenes. I'm like, easy.
I mean, it's behind the scenes, in front of the scenes.
Yeah.
I prefer just to spread it all out. We're doing live. Oh, good. I was late and fucked up live. Good.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Good. Yeah. Okay. There you go.
All right.
That's cool, man. That's cool with the build. I know Owens has done it. So here's something. Like, I have this room downstairs, and I've been talking about it, and I actually got the wife to agree to let me do this. I don't know if I have the
is it the one where there's the back door that's right there? Kind of that little like
his little side room off his office that connects the 2 snake rooms.
Right.
Yeah.
But wait do you see
it's like a game of Risk. He's got one territory here, he's got one here, and then he's got to bridge the gap so they all connect. So yep.
Yeah. Oh, and you take over for a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
we talked about Northwest Carpet Fest.
Oh, okay,
what you did? Wait. What
did he jump off a building?
I'm saving that. I'm saving that for
We're still better.
That's
Okay.
northeast.
If he didn't leap off of a building, we're still up top. So we're okay.
I mean, Eric has a pool, and Kendra and Jeff don't have a pool. But they do have a
that's
deck,
the
which I
deciding
wouldn't utilize if they had a pool.
Oh, so apparently
Wait,
it has
they're
to,
saying
you
it
have
was
to
discussed.
survive it. All right, yeah, all right, fine. All right, I guess. So, but we already talked about that, and we already talked about how he's like slowly designing his new room with all his wonderful angry scrubs.
I'm
They're
gonna
not that mean, dude. Mine are mostly pretty cool.
Not that mean. The fact that you have to put that in front of it is like, yeah, most of them are pretty cool. Well, what are the scrubs that you're working with? Are we talking
wait, back up. I want to know, so you were at Jeff and Kendra's house.
Yeah.
Right.
What is the creme de la creme of the collection?
What did you attempt to steal out in your pockets?
Ooh, all right. So Jeff almost got shot by Kendra because what happened was I was in the reptile room and I was talking about some of the projects I'm working with, and I've got some granite babies that I'm going to have for sale to show I'm doing this weekend.
Nice.
And Jeff loves granite stuff, so he's into the granite project. He's like, "Ooh, trade."
Yeah,
and I'm like, "Yeah, probably. I don't know, man. What are you guys looking at realistically? Maybe thinking about letting go of?" And he's like, "Well, we were talking about letting go of this white lip, and it was one of the gold white lips." That he said they were thinking about letting go of. And then he made it very clear, I got to talk to Kendra. I got to talk to Kendra. That's really her snake. I got to work this out with her. I'm like, all right, cool. So, Kendra is a couple shots deep at this point, and I go talk to Kendra, dude.
That was not having it. That went well. Okay.
Time. So she books it into the reptile room, gets open, and she's kind of, this is right at the start of the party. So we're getting, stuff's moving around. And I look at Jeff. I'm like, I'm sorry.
I didn't mean to. I don't.
And she kicks us out of the reptile room, and I have no idea what the private husband and wife conversation is, but I'm definitely not getting the white lip python.
That's a gun. Yeah. That backfired quickly, and there you go.
Yeah. So we know who wears the pants. It's not Jeff.
As it should be, it's done. He says because he is a squirrel. So yeah.
Okay. I can't find it.
Yeah, the Dunai were dope.
Yeah.
That was cool. I've never had hands on duns before. That was my first time seeing it. It was really cool to put the duns right next to the Mac lots and see the difference.
There it is.
Because they're reversed. It's like reversing an image almost. Like the Dunai are it's like the reverse Flash.
Same colors, different places. Got it.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, very cool. And then it was cool because we were there Friday night. So we were there pre-partying. So we actually got to pull stuff out and play with it. And, Tony was working with a Gila monster while they were trying to clip its nails. That was pretty cool. Tony had fun with that. I with it.
Yeah, I don't miss those. I don't miss clipping Gila monster nails. That can be tricky.
You've clipped Gila monster nails?
Sometimes you have to if they get gnarly.
Oh. Yeah, no, those are crazy. I was a few drinks deep at that point. I had no right dealing with that. I knew it. So
I am too drunk to deal with a venomous lizard, and I'm going to tag out. It's it's good thing Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very cool though. Very cool.
Okay.
All right. So, I guess what kind of we were talking about your room and how you're building it, but I missed what scrubs you have and what types you're working with.
Gotcha. So right now I have 2.2 adult Southerns, 2.2 3-year-old holdbacks, and then I've got 1.1 holdbacks. Dude, I'm tripping. I have 2.2 total.
Okay.
2 are adults, 2 are holdbacks, and then I have 2.2 bar necks that are all adults.
Cool.
That are all strongs, and I'm excited. I have some Waminas on the way.
Nice.
From Ryan Young. So that's gonna be dope.
That is cool.
Yeah,
that is cool.
I like the Wamina type stuff. I think it's really, really pretty. It's just I don't know. It looks like a bar neck, but more pixelated.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know how else to put it. Just that pattern. It's like way more broken up, not so bari, and just freaking neat. And really calm for the most part.
Yeah.
Like they're very chill.
Yeah, the last one I had was a patternless, so I lost all that good stuff and just got a really calm, very big scrub.
Was that the one with the pink tongue? Didn't it have a weird tongue or something?
Yeah, it had a pink tongue. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to that one. So
I don't know.
So what do you attribute the success of breeding the Southerns to for you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got lucky.
Lucky. Okay.
Yeah, that's my way of thinking. And I don't know. I put them together and it happened. Cool.
I mean, I cooled them way more than people recommend. You know, I got them way colder than, you know, you would think. I mean, they got down to like 60, 62, 65 during the winter, which, you know, looking at just the range maps and what little weather data is available for that area, it like never gets below 72. So I definitely cooled them more than most people do.
Right.
Do I think that have anything to do with it? I have no idea. My female was small. She was like 7 feet long and slender, and everyone pretty much everyone that I talked to about it said she was too small to breed.
Right.
And yet,
you know, dude, none of us know shit.
Thank you.
That's the truth, man.
It's all guesswork. At best.
We're all wrong.
Yeah. Tomorrow will be released the Reptile Fight Club with Justin and Chuck, and they debate you know, cycling snake. You know, what do you need to cycle snakes? You know, anything, or does it have to be a certain amount of things, or you know, what is it? You know, and I think once we get it figured out, we still
then we change it, right?
Yeah,
we figure it out, but that was going to do something a little different, and then forget what worked.
Yeah, that's how it keeps going. Where it's like people have been breeding something, or back in the old days or whatever, people were breeding them with like plywood boxes, or you know, those giant slate bottom tanks in their basements, and then now nobody knows how to do it anymore. Yeah. So to reinvent the wheel. Yeah.
Now we're doing that all over again.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
I wonder if it's just like, you know, we were talking pre-show, and I think like I don't know, man. I think that there's something to the fact that people with a smaller collection and more focused with a specific species, especially, you know, me and Owen have been talking about this behind the scenes for quite a bit now.
In front of the camera, like, I'll tell everyone I'm slimming down, baby.
Yeah. You know, and I think it just goes back to being able to be in tune with your animals, you know, and really figure out what's going on. And I think, at least for me personally, especially when things are in tubs or whatever, you're missing these little subtle cues. And if you're breeding something easy like carpet pythons, you know, it's not that difficult to do, or ball pythons or whatever it would be, you know. But I think with, you know, all these Indonesian pythons that can be, I don't necessarily think they're hard. I think it's just you have to pick up. Do you feel that, like, did you sort of cookie cutter it into your typical python breeding regimen?
I didn't do anything different than I would a jungle carpet, dude.
Right.
It worked out. Yeah.
All the same. And I mean, now I'm way more hands off than I used to be, mostly because of time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, if I'm going to go ahead and take out a snake, typically it's because my son wants to play with snakes.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, you can hold this while I clean things. And, you know, my son does a really good job with a lot of the carpet pythons. So, you know, I check stuff out and he's around, and that kind of helps me go through everything. But other than like a quick quality check when I'm doing cage cleaning and water changing, I have very little quality time with my animals anymore. I will say that's a bummer. There's like 5 that I spend a lot of time with.
Right.
And there's like 35 that I'm just like, okay.
Right.
Still there. All right, next.
But it's even not so much even the handling part of it is what I'm talking about. Is like, because maybe this is part of it. And I think, Owen, you sort of adopted it from the idea that we were talking about that Brandon did, where he kind of joined the two cages together.
So bad. And
you're sort of hands off.
And I'm robbing it worse. I built the bridge for my Timors. I have a PVC pipe with like the caps. and then I've got new cages coming for my white lips and stuff like that, and I'm gonna do that same kind of tunnel thing you got so that they can connect. So and then I'm taking it. I have a cap that's got holes in it so that they can kind of smell each other and check each other out. Because I figure once the male knows he should be in there, he'll be like on the bridge or on the cap, and I'll be like, all right, yeah, cool.
Drill holes,
dude. No, they sell caps that like are like cut blocks and screens, almost like a.
Yeah, I'm not buying a new cap. So drill.
Right, well, then just drill holes. Yeah, why not? Okay. Same fucking thing. Yeah, just drill holes, and then when the male will know when it's time to be in there with the girl, because when we were talking about with Shane, he had the bridge set up, and his Halmahera male was all of a sudden up against the glass, up against on his female's cage, and that's when he let her in. When he let him into the girl, it let them Dude, I'm an idiot. Like, show me when you're supposed to go in there with the female, like, and that's it. So
mine seem to separate themselves out. They do it themselves.
Yeah.
I have no idea whether or not I have breeding going on in there right now.
Okay.
But what I do have is I have 2 of the bar necks. You know, I have 2 of the pairs each are able to go and do each other's thing. And with one of those pairs, there's a male that he'll go up and he'll hang out with her in the hide box for like a day. And then he'll go back to his cage for like 3 days. And then he'll go back to her hide box for like a day. And then back to his cage for like a week. And he's been doing that on and off for like a month now. So I'm just letting that fly. And I'll close them off whenever they're separated. If they're together, I'm just not going to feed them.
Right.
You know? If they're separated, then I'll shut them off. I'll throw them some food. I'll open it back up again. I mean, that's just kind of how I'm doing it right now.
And that I think is what I want to get into with things like the white lips and my Timors and stuff like that, because then when she cycles, he will be there and we're ready to go. And it won't be I missed her swell, so I didn't get the male in there, so I didn't get to do that. Now, obviously, like what Jeff said, I wouldn't probably do this for something like an Apodora or a ring python or something like that. So
so they can go get a snack or something.
Yeah, exactly. Now your access to the female. Oh, he's dead. Like, that's
yeah.
But it's worth a shot, because then maybe you don't miss it. Because I know with what Ryan has told me is that white lip ovulation swell is like it's gradual, and then it's massive for like a day or two, and it's gone. Like, and you can miss it. So,
when you have them connected like this, I mean, it's simple. They don't want to hang out; they don't have to.
Yeah,
right.
So I don't feel weird about it. And when they're, I feel better about the amount of space that they have.
Right.
And I don't have to interfere with them. I mean, shit, dude. Slowly over time, I'm probably gonna link like damn near all my cages. Like, once I know that it's not until I sell my house before I have to figure out how to get all this crap apart.
Right. Yeah, that's the downside.
It's gonna happen. I need to finish the basement first. And it'll happen. Give me like 2 years, dude. Everything's gonna be linked.
Yeah. I for sure like the idea, and it's also just easier and less stressful. Like, some of these animals can be very high strung animals. So if all I got to do is wait for them to be like in their box and reach in and like unscrew a cap and then close it, like, there you go. Like, and now I'll let them do whatever. So
did you have that set up when you bred them?
No.
Okay, so you did it after you bred them.
Yeah.
What made you even go that route? You're just.
I went to Chuck's house. Chuck
okay.
does something similar. Yeah, it's not like I invented the shit. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, we all steal from everybody, right?
Yeah. So that's how Chuck got his Homs to breed.
Rob used to do that back in the day too. Yeah.
Yeah. So his is different. He didn't do the clean out cap like I did, but I mean, I work in plumbing for a living, so it just made sense to me. So he has kind of a different process with his door, but I like it. We'll see.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I definitely like it. So.
Do you see yourself adding, now that there's more and more captive bred species of scrubs? Do you see yourself adding any of them, or are you content with? Yeah. Okay.
All right. Which one's at the top?
The Parawaminas I've already paid for. And I'm just waiting for Ryan to ship them to me. And then if Marcel, which I should say when Marcel is successful hatching those Moluccan pythons, then I set myself up pretty good to have top pick on a pair.
Nice.
So
that'll be nice.
A pair of those.
Yeah, I was telling you before the show. I saw him on your YouTube channel, and I reached out to him and asked him when they hatch if he wants to come on NPR, and he's down to do it. So probably sometime in December, we'll be chatting about that.
That's very cool.
Super cool guy, man. I hung out with him at the Anaheim show.
Yeah,
it was good to see him there. And Anaheim show was fun, man. We after the show, Justin and Chuck joined us for dinner. Me, Riley, and Tony. And
nice.
A couple other guys, and it was fun, man. It was cool. It was cool. We got Justin and Jack to come back up to the hotel room. Everybody else is drinking, and Justin's just being a great sport. You know what I
mean? Rifling off Simpsons quotes and talking about how with different waterways in Australia. Yeah,
taking shots in the corner. It was beautiful. It was a great thing.
It's like having a lifeguard there just in case. He's there to save you. Yeah,
dude, the conversation was strong though.
Man.
I don't remember what all we were getting into, but it was good. And it was just fun, man.
Yeah, I can. Awesome. I'm kind of bummed that these guys are going to Arizona in what, a week? Is it a week?
No, 2 weeks. I think.
2 weeks.
I think I'm out of here the 11th or something like that. I don't know.
I won't be able to make it, but yeah, always herping with Justin is always a good time, man. He's
shit. It is like 2 weeks.
See, you don't even know.
It's the 10th. Yeah, I'm out of here the 10th, and then get to run around with Justin and Rob, and quite easily I'm the dumbest person in the group already. So, I have to make sure I, find enough snakes to, carry.
And you got
weight.
Keith too.
Exactly.
Oh shit, man. You are definitely
the
dumbest in the group.
It's like, this is like, am I
That's
dying?
why you bring me, right?
Like, is this my Make-A-Wish thing where it's like, Owen's going to die soon, so we're going to take him out for herping?
Yeah. There you go.
So, yeah.
We got Owen Vision coming. He's gonna strap the GoPro right to his
here
chest.
To my chest. Yeah.
Right. It's a perfect tail end of herping season too. That's about the last of it, right? I mean, it's
Oh. Now I'm gonna angrily ask for you to sign my knobtail book, you jerk.
I should give you mine so you can sign mine too. All right.
I'm not going to tell him which one's which. So when he writes a mean thing in there, that one's yours. So
yeah. Cool. That's awesome. Good times. Okay, so adding some Moluccan scrubs, and then you're content with your scrub pythons?
No, get the whole collection.
No, man, I mean,
it's too much.
Because other stuff's got to go if I'm going to do that.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm not in a position right now to where I want to stop working with any of my other projects.
Right.
And I just, there's a lot of stuff that I want to see to fruition, that I haven't done yet that I want to do. And, I'm still young, man. I'm 35. In 10 more years, once I've accomplished this next set of goals, then we'll write some new ones,
right.
what I mean? But I'm trying to just stay laser focused on what I've already got. I want to do rough scales soon. My female's almost big enough. I don't think I can get her this year, probably next year. This will be my first season trying with inland pythons, so I'm really excited to give that a swing.
Yeah. So wait, let's pause right there. Let's talk inland carpets, because I'm doing the same thing this year. Are you doing winter, or are you doing spring? Are you just going to put them together and call it a day?
I'm going to treat them just like Brettles.
Okay.
Yep, that's what I would do.
They're going cold. They're going to starve. I'm going to warm them up. I'm going to feed them. They're going to fuck. That's what's going to happen.
I guarantee you their food response is still going to be like massive. Even like the dead of freaking winter when they're like 50 degrees. They're still going to come out swinging because that's just the way my bloodline are. So
they have crazy food response, man. They're the sweetest snakes in the world until you're holding a
until
rat,
there's food. Yeah, and until there's the scent of anything that could be food in the air. So
I'm really excited. I've got a Mogline female that was produced by Justin,
right?
And I've got a Mog Schofield line animal that was produced by Nick. And actually, I think Mark Goyer produced that one. I don't know.
Okay, one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, it came from over there. Yeah,
I think it was a breeding loan between the two of them that produced.
could
that.
also be. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm just excited to get them together. I really want to produce inlands, man. They're too cool. They're too chill. More people need to have them. They need to be better kept. They just have to be more popular. They're too perfect of a carpet python for them not to be more popular.
Yeah, man. They're the to me, even more so than Brettles, I think they're the perfect pet carpet.
Well, they're a little smaller than Brettles.
Yeah, that's the thing,
They're a little smaller and they're way more tolerant to handling. They're way more tolerant to toddlers. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, they can. You can boop the snoot. Is that what we're saying? Unless you got a rat in your hand, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, my son's been through the ringer. Like, I have tested these theories. Okay, inlands are fine. They're toddler approved.
Got it.
Yeah.
Put a sticker on their cage. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try the same approach, man. I've never bred lies, but I think that's what I'm going after. I mean, I got real nice red, a lot of red in the boy, and real reduced pattern in the girl. So we'll see what.
A lot of spring breeders going this year, dude. You got like the inlands, the diamonds.
Yeah, Brettles.
I'm pretty sure you could do a Brettles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, my diamond female, I just can't get to eat. She's such a pain in the ass.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, she sucks. She sucks. She acts like she's hungry. She bites it. She wraps it. She drops it.
I hate that because then you smell it later.
I don't have fucking time for that. Excuse me. I'm wearing too much on this episode. I'll cool it off, but I don't have time for that.
Yeah. Yeah. My Cape Yorks are like that, man. They do that the male every time. Bite, wrap, come back. You smell that horrible smell. You're like,
get to play, find the smell. Yeah. Great game.
She's probably 4 years old. And she's quarters,
Yeah.
beer cap in width and
right.
about 3.5 feet long.
And that's the girl?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I bet you the worst part is you have a male, right?
Oh, sure, he's huge.
And I bet you he eats everything in sight and is the fucking powerhouse. And it's like,
he's a good 6-7 feet long, dude. He's massive.
Yeah, it's like, come on, dude. Like, she's got to catch up with you. And
So are you breeding scrubs this year?
I hope so.
Trying to?
I'm going to do 3 pairings. Next year I'll be able to do 4 pairings. So yeah, this year 3 pairings. I mean, if I could hit one out of the 3, it's a win for me. I'm cool. I don't need to hit crazy odds, but I feel like I suck at this if I can't at least get 1 clutch.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I was curious, like, what your thoughts are on the whole outcrossing scrubs, since they're in such the infancy of captive breeding. Is that something that you're?
That's big.
Yeah,
it is. Correct.
It's like the chondros sort of got jacked up. The carpets kind of get jacked up. So what's your thoughts?
All right.
Come on.
Oh, now
come on. Neil Nibbles.
Are you ready to feel the passion?
Come on, man. I want to feel it.
Well, this is what we're like. That's the whole point of this goddamn show at this point.
Oh my God. All right, here we go. So my male pattern list is being accused of being a Highland.
Oh man.
Or
here we go.
If you want to go
like all that crazy about that. Highlands are still Southerns, dude. They're still Southerns.
Right.
Where does Highland start? Where does Highland finish? What the fuck is a Highland? Okay, so just because it has orange lateral bands on it, that's what makes it a Highland? Is that it? Is that it? Where's it from? Does it have to come from a certain elevation? Because, after talking to a lot of guys that know a thing or two, a lot of them don't agree with each other, man. There are multiple different opinions on the subject. But, I'll throw out this name. I've spoke with Dan about it, multiple times. And he's like, look, man, there are scrubs in Maruke that have orange lateral bands. They are Southerns. Okay. There's also scrubs in Tanamera that have orange lateral bands. Tanameras are still Southerns. Okay.
Yeah.
Now there's a difference between locality and species. You feel
Right.
me?
Yeah.
All right. So just
Yes.
because if you breed a Palmerston jungle to a Tolly jungle, did you make hybrids?
No.
You made jungle
you
carpets.
fucked up the
Right?
localities, but yeah.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, if I bred a Highland, scrub to a, let's call it lowland scrub, even though technically Highland, like, dude, Maruke, the elevations in Maruke are still the same as the elevations in Tanamera. If you're looking at the upper end portions of Maruke, that whole freaking range is not that high. I mean, it's really not. You don't get into high elevations until you get to Oskabul, and I don't know. It's annoying to me. I don't really care anymore. It is what it is. But you should not. This is what you shouldn't do, and this is what's irresponsible, and this is what's happening constantly. Is everybody's like, oh, importers don't know what they're talking about. So there's a group of 30 scrub pythons that just got imported, and they're all labeled Maruke. All right, great. So let's separate out all the ones with orange bands, and we're going to call these Tanameras. And let's separate out all the kind of little reduced pattern ones that have a little stripy thing over here. We're going to call those Tamika.
Right.
And people are taking, oh, the importer's wrong. The importer's wrong. I know better than that. I've seen all of this. And they're separating these Southerns out by phenotype with no, there's natural variation in this shit.
Right.
Look at Brisbane locality coastals, one of the least genetically diverse carpet pythons that we have, right? But yet you have some that are hatched red. There's a couple that'll come out tan. Some grow up to be more of a gray. You have all of these different color variants in animals that are freaking related to each other.
Right.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And
there's pretty far back.
How many scrub clutches have we had in the United States that would be Southern? 15 maybe in
more than others, but
in 20 years, something like that. How many Highlands?
Maybe
I
zero.
think it's zero.
Yeah.
There might be one.
I think one was in Europe.
I think somebody hit somewhere, but that's the problem. Is what's the difference between a Highland and an Oxable? Because I don't know.
Exactly.
Well, technically, they're sort of the same thing.
So what? Eventually, an Oxable
semantics.
Well, an Oxable became an orange, became a Highland. Is it the same fucking thing?
I didn't realize that the scrub python world was.
I love it. I'm not in it, so I can just watch.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
If you have locality data that says this animal came from that area, then you should call it that locality.
Right.
If you don't, it's a fucking Southern, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think my thought would be this, and this would how I would look at it. I would think that just like everything else in on that island, right, is you have that mountain range that splits the northern animals from the southern animals, and that seems to show that these are different species on both sides of that. Now, the work necessarily hasn't been done for all of those things, but you see it with white lips, you see it with scrubs, you see it with chondros, you see it with what else do we got? Who knows? Maybe there's even carpet pythons that are on the north side of that. Who knows? I don't know.
Totally.
Maybe there's Apodura on the other side of that mountain range that may be, a separate species as well. Who knows? But I guess the point is like, to me, sort of like what you're saying is like everything on that southern range to me would be said species. I wouldn't breed a barneck with a southern.
No,
just to produce, but
they're totally different, man.
Yeah,
right,
totally different.
Yeah, right. It's above the mountain or below the mountain. That's it. Anything below the mountain's got to be the same, if not so close. It's ridiculous, and then vice versa.
Now, I am absolutely pro locality.
Yeah,
I love locality stuff. Look at king snakes. Here in California, you've got black and yellow kings, and you have black and white kings. And they're about 30 minutes apart. And it's really cool,
Yeah.
But they're still king snakes. All right.
Right.
And people are getting so confused and really just intertwining this locality thing, which half of it's bullshit because they're coming in as Maruke anyway, people fucking making it up. And then, confusing that. Like I got accused of making hybrids.
You bastard. But then
Now-
there's also like we're also going off of what could be written on a crate or a box. And that's where we're basing a lot of our info on. It's like, oh, these are Queensland carpets. Why? Because the box says Queensland. Where'd it come from? Darwin. This doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, and that's what you can also have in there too.
Well, like I had to correct a vendor the other day, which I hate being the guy that corrects a vendor, but it was really easy and he was really cool. And I'm like, look, dude, it said red Maruke scrub python, and it was a baby. I'm like, bro, you should take off red.
They're all red.
Yeah, all babies are
They're
red.
all red.
All babies are red.
Oh, really? All right, cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
I remember because one of the Moluccans we had when we got her, she was red and she tore part of her neck and it healed up, but she had a scar that stayed red when she got older and changed color. So people are like, "Oh, she's got a cool little spot." I'm like, "No, she's just fucked up." I'm like, "No, she's just an idiot and cut herself on her tub."
Right.
So, but it's cool to watch that change. But I don't think a lot of people realize what colors some of these babies are. Like nobody really knows that gold white lips are spotted when they're babies. Like fresh Neo white lips have speckles, and nobody thinks about that because they assume the animal that they got off the dealer table is a baby, but it's like a year and a half old at that point. So yeah. Sure.
Yeah, I think and you know, the other part of it that sort of would, you know, when I was I have a female Southern, and at one point I'll have a male because I can't have King Horn Eye, so I guess I have
get
to
the
have
closest I can.
You know, you know, that's kind of where I'm at. But I think like I don't know, man. I think that it's kind of I worry about what sort of happened with the chondro thing, where all of a sudden they're divided up into all these different species and subspecies, and like, you know, oh, did I make a hybrid? And you know, but then, you know, I don't know. You know, the other part of me thinks like, who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, they look at guys like Scott Eiper. You know, it's all the same shit, right? Isn't that a famous Scott Eiper quote?
Yeah,
all the crappets are the same. Yes, Scott. Thank you, Scott. So,
well, the funny thing about that is, right, you'll have people that are here in the U.S. arguing with him who's over there in Australia, and it would be like the equivalent of him arguing with us about corn snakes. Right. Like, no, Scott, you know, Scott's like, no, you're wrong. It's like, dude, you know, yeah, I don't know. So, okay. Well, that's a touchy subject in the scrub python world. I didn't realize.
Ask more scrub people that. That's awesome.
But then if you don't breed them, I mean, you know,
then we're done. Yeah.
If you, yeah,
more data.
Clinical variation. That's what he calls it. I like that. Yeah, sounds fancy. So
fancy.
I guess my other thought was, right, and I've really been trying to. This drives me nuts, and I've been guilty of it, and I want to try to change it where it's like I somehow have to make another species sound like they suck in order to make the species that I like sound good, rather than just go off of like, you know,
mine's cool as is.
I dig this, you know what I mean? I don't have to be like, well, you know, my species that I like is the best, while yours sucks, you know? And what do you think about the whole thing with scrub pythons on, you know, because there are certain things about these sort of harder to keep pythons that kind of suck, you know, and I don't mean it in like a negative way, like they suck. Like some people, they love the species so much that they're willing to accept these certain things that come along with the species, right? You know,
they're
like
not a beginner snake, in my opinion. So yeah,
if you're not dedicated to it, don't do it.
Right.
It's not. It sucks that they're trendy. I think that's the scariest possible thing for scrub pythons is that they're a trendy snake right now.
Yeah.
Because trends die, and so will those scrubs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what are your thoughts on like how you're going to portray that, like, so trying to say that, you know, hey, scrub pythons can be a cool snake, but these are the things that sort of come along with having a scrub python, you know? I think Apodora is kind of the same way, right? I mean, that's kind of a species that people don't realize the power behind those snakes, you know?
Look, my big female gypsy is a damn nightmare. You know, I've been around a lot of snakes. I've been around a lot of scrubs. Been around a lot of pythons. This snake sucks, and she'll never go anywhere. She'll be with me, you know, her entire life. But anybody who's talked crap and ran their mouth about how good they are at handling this and why are you wearing a glove and it's just whatever that, you come over, have a go. Have a go. No gloves. You can have a paper towel roll. I'll give you a paper towel roll. That's
okay.
It.
Paper towel roll.
How well that goes for you, because I'm telling you right now, man, that snake is not suitable for being handled
right
at all.
And some aren't, and people don't realize that. Like I remember talking to one person about when I was growing up my Timors, and I'm like, I try not to handle them. I try to leave them be. And somebody was like, I hold mine until they give up just to make them tamer. I'm like, so you stress them out until they surrender? That's cool. Like, I don't know why you would do that.
Right.
I'm totally fine with my snakes not liking me. It's
dude, and I'm
totally
so guilty of that. Like exactly what you just said, I used to do with monitors.
Yeah.
And it took me a couple of years to realize how wrong and stupid I was.
Right.
But that was what I was taught, you know, from a young working in pet stores and, you know, whatever is, you just they'll give up eventually. And God, man, I was so wrong. Yeah.
I mean, that was
but
thing.
that's how you learn, right?
Right.
You know, I mean, you know, we all evolve. As this idea that you're like never evolving as a keeper, or your knowledge doesn't grow, or you know, experiences that you have, whether it be in captive settings or in a field setting, don't change your outlook on things. It's just silly. It drives me nuts that people like, yeah, maybe I said something stupid back in 2006, but like, dude, it's 2021. Like, you know, like people evolve.
Right. I had a way of thinking back then, but then I learned more and I adapted. Like, I think I saw at a show recently, some dude with a bandana tied to his wrist.
He says, "I love Owen."
No, well, that's later. But he had it, and he's like, well, I'm wearing this because then it'll get my smell, and then I'll put it in the snake's cage, and it'll know to trust me. I'm like, who told you that? He goes, that guy over there. I'm like, you're wasting your goddamn time. Like that's. But I remember people always used to say to do that, to try to put like a piece of clothing or something in the cage so the snake will know your smell or whatever the hell, and that just. I don't know.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Everybody makes those dumb mistakes.
I mean, I don't care if my snakes are mean. I think it's kind of fun. You know, I get entertainment out of it. I have enough snakes that are nice to where I can handle my snakes that are nice.
Right.
And if I'm interested in having a good time and playing around, then I got some snakes that I can have a good time and play around with, you know. And I think that's great. I love watching my female, you know, gypsy. I just love watching her. I love watching her stare at me through her hide box. I love watching her flip her tail at me like a damn whip when she's, you know, extended on the cage and I walk by. She'll tail whip me. It's the only scrub I've ever seen that does it.
I've never heard of that. But okay,
me neither, dude.
Yeah, that's wow.
You're worried about one end, and then here comes the other end. Yeah.
So you know how I have the arboreal hides that are secured to the top, and they slide out. All right, so she likes to sit in there, and she'll strike, and she'll pull the hide with her on the recoil and send it launching halfway across the cage.
Yeah, it sounds like a scrub.
Yeah. Oh, he's cool, man. But you know what? I've got some adult bar necks that are as sweet as could possibly be. You know, that I absolutely. I mean, the only person that Lucy's ever bitten is Riley.
But Riley had it coming. I don't care what he was doing. He probably had it coming. So aside from that, I mean, I get what you're saying. You have the mean ones, you have the other ones. They don't got to like you. They got to just eat their food and potentially breed, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And you know, when I have some time in the backyard to take them out and enjoy them, I definitely do. But I do most of the enjoyment with them in the enclosure and me just standing out there looking at them stupid.
What got you hooked on the scrubs? Because I mean, I think the last time we talked, or it was the last time I saw you at like Carpet Fest, I know you kind of had some interest or something. Was it Dave Means throwing a scrub at you or something like that? Did that do anything?
No, I've been keeping scrubs for like 15 years, man.
Okay.
I've had them for a long time, but I only had one. I had a Moluccan Python. I was 21 when I got my Moluccan Python, and I got it as a baby. I raised it up. I had it for about 7 years. It was the only one I had, and then I moved to California, sold her, which was really, really stupid. Tried to buy her back. The guy where I sold it, he accidentally killed her. There was a thermostat malfunction.
Yeah.
And, my beautiful adult, ready to breed female that I was about to buy back, freaking croaks, right? So right after I figured that out, I was hanging out with my wife up in Long Beach and just randomly went on a pet shop tour, just checking stuff out. And there was a gypsy was there, so I bought her.
Okay.
That tackled me back into it. So I only went on like maybe 1 year without scrub hiatus in that time.
Okay. And then you slowly built it back up from just gypsy to now what you kind of got your little scrub army going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Battle snakes.
Pretty much. I mean, don't now. Do you keep anything at like chest or head level? Because I mean, okay, so you do love living dangerously. Got it. So,
well, Gypsy's right at my face, dude.
Good.
Yeah, she's here.
Yeah. Face biters. Yeah.
Yeah. The heat-seeking missiles locked on your face. Yep.
Yeah. Scrubs are, I don't know. They're beautiful animals. I really do. Do you think with captive breeding that they might chill out a bit over time?
I mean, retics did, but no.
Yeah.
Well, some of them are chill. That's the thing. Is it's so independent per animal that I hate putting the all scrubs are mean thing out there because that's not true. Just this last weekend, Kendra and Jeff's, their Wamena type animals are super placid and chill. They have a couple of them. They just sit there and hang out. They don't bite. At least half of mine don't bite.
Right.
The other half of mine do. You know what I mean? So it's not like they're all bad, but they're the ones that I have. A couple are gnarly enough for me to have a giant warning label that says these are gonna screw you up.
Maybe. Yeah.
I was thinking when I stepped away, remember Owen, do you remember that scrub python that I got from Dan that everybody thought was an oxable?
Yes.
And it turned out to be a southern. I'll have to send you a picture of it, Brandon.
I do remember that. Yeah.
It had like crazy orange on the the saddles and whatnot. And I remember I was talking to Jim Karusky, I think is how you say it. The guy that used to own OMP. Yeah. And he's like, nah, man, that's a southern. And I was like, how can you tell? And then, he walked me through or whatever. And I have notes on it. I'll have to send it to you so you can check it out. But yeah, it turned out that snake grew up to look just like a southern,
I remember it went through like a color change. We're like, nah, it's an oxable. And then as it grew, the orange kind of depleted a little bit until eventually it would look just like any other southern.
Most of them do.
Yeah.
Occasionally you have some that don't. I'll be honest with you. I haven't pulled out temper, or I haven't pulled out tantrum in a while. Tantrum's the one of mine that has the orange bands. He's still got some orange bands, but his sister has absolutely none.
Right.
And that's the other thing. If this is such an indicator, then why do you have half that do and half that don't? I think it's just a polygenic trait, man. I mean, I just think it's polygenic and it's more common in some of the more highland areas, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist in some of the lower areas.
Right.
And, is it like a coastal jungle thing to where, there's maybe subspecies, something like that going on? Dude, I don't know, man. Nobody's done the work.
And who's to say there's not an integrate zone where you might get some of the orange animals breeding with some of the non-orange animals producing these slightly orange babies?
Which looking at it, there would have to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I've stared at the stupid maps enough to look and see that there is nothing there's no giant dividing thing that separates any of this crap. It's
right.
There's just not, man. It's all got to, anyway. Yeah.
And yet they'll still come out with like a brand new scrub subspecies that was found sometime somewhere that is slightly different than the other stuff. It's like how they keep finding black-faced white-lip localities that look the same.
Remember when they found maybe it was like 6 years ago, I think Tom Crutchfield posted that picture of that crazy looking scrub python they found on one of those islands somewhere.
I don't know.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
No, I have to dig that picture up. I got it
Yeah.
somewhere, but holy shit, was that animal nice.
That happens, dude. Like, and also it's, they might find a pretty one, or the people who are like supplying these importers might find a freaky looking one, and they're going to pay extra for the freaky looking one. So,
right.
It really is, the variation with reptiles and snakes in general is nuts. And then you add something like a scrub that's going to get huge, and you don't know what that pattern's going to do and stuff like that. And it just kind of adds to it. So
I don't know. I just look at carpet pythons that look like the Australian groups, with the wild carpets that are found, listen to people on the podcast that are herping this and that and the other. And you see wildly different looking snakes in the same location all the freaking time. And they're not that far removed. And just looking at captive bred clutches, like, Steven's Barnett clutch, Stephen Cush had a Barnett clutch like 2 years ago. Dude, half of those look like they're from Kofiau, and half of them look like freaking Jaibira. And it's just, if you were to lay all of them out, which is what I did.
We'll get it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to throw you off.
We'll go on a roll.
Yeah.
It's just, and that's what I did. Is I took a clutch, I had posted it. People gave their opinions. Some of the opinions were spot on. Some of them were very wrong. It was whatever. But that was just my way of posting so that everyone can see that no one knows what the fuck they're talking about.
Right. I mean, if one Barnett clutch can have animals that look like there's 5 different localities, something isn't right. Either everything's mixed with each other, or they go through the box and they're like, that's a Wamina, that's a thing. And all these things might have been collected within 5 miles of each other.
I mean, I think a lot of it, unfortunately, a lot of it's a money grab.
Of course.
Yeah. I'm not blaming the guys that are directly selling it, but you go a step or two up, and some of the people that are heavily involved in this are well known to mislabel chondros already on purpose in order to make more money, and have been accused of it multiple times in the past. And to think that they're not doing the same thing with scrubs is free.
Well, that'd be just stupid. If somebody is going to mislabel chondros or mislabel something else in order to try to drum up some kind of market for something that's different or rarer, then of course they're going to do it with something like scrubs, and of course they're going to do it with anything they can. So,
but then you get a group of 30 freaking snakes that all say Maruke. That guy's the liar.
Exactly,
dude, that's wrong.
But that guy is wrong. No, but they all came from the same place. They all came from Maruke.
Right. Yeah.
Done. It's the problem is that you can't. If everything just came in as Maruke, you can't slice it easily without having different localities or saying they're different types. So it's the easier thing to say is just that it's this is different than that, and that's why you want it, because it's the only one I brought in that's different from all these other ones, even though they all came in the same box from the same place. So.
I could see you breeding for phenotype. You know what I mean?
Could.
Like I could see you taking 2 animals that have the similar phenotype and putting them together and saying, okay,
and that makes more sense.
Yeah,
that makes more sense.
But
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. But my male that my holdback that still has all the orange bands at 3 years old is totally getting bred to something else that has orange bands.
Right.
It would be really stupid to not do that. Like,
of course I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So Darren asked the question. I want to make sure that we hit on this. He's keen to get an idea of how you balance humidity and ventilation for your tropical species.
Poorly.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I think we take that for granted, right? Ventilation in cages and how important it is to
and humidity and stuff
So
like that.
on the back of this cage wall, there is a vent that goes to the AC unit. And then up above, I have an inline duct fan that's hooked into my herpstat that turns on every time something hits 82 degrees. And then on the other side, I have a window that's always open. So I get pretty good air circulation through the room that way. And the circulation has to literally go through a wall of cages and then through the room and then through the other wall of cages and up. So the room itself keeps pretty good circulation. But I don't spray. I mean, I do sometimes when I'm bored, but not for any like specific purpose. I try to make sure my water's changed as much as possible. I mean, you know, whenever I'm in here and I look at something and I see a water, I change it for the most part.
How big are the bowls?
Water change twice a week if I can. I will admit sometimes it's once a week. I mean, I'm busy, dude. There's a lot of water bowls in here. That's the catchy thing about having this many snakes is it does take, you know, getting everything cleaned and watered and fed is a full day of work. That will take me 10 hours to accomplish.
Yeah.
And, you know, sometimes I have other things to do on Saturday.
Yeah.
How big are your water bowls that you're giving these guys? Are you giving like tubs or just simple stoneware bowls or something like that?
Just the big Crocs, large Croc bowls that you get commonly at pet stores. Not big enough for adults to soak in, and that's not on purpose. You know, there's things that I could do better. There's things I'm trying to do better. You know, like I said, a lot of stuff I'm getting out of racks. I'm investing a stupid amount of money into the basement and making sure that everything that I have that I'm growing up is set up and set up properly. And, you know, there's some advice I'll give to anybody that maybe has 3 or 4 or 5 snakes and thinks that what I do or what we do is really cool. Look, dude, this is expensive. It's time consuming. It takes over your life, and you better be fucking dedicated to it because it's not all cute, fun, and games. Sometimes, you know, there's a lot of work to this. And so take your time, build very slowly. And if you're in it for money, go buy.
You're in the wrong spot.
Don't do anything else.
What is it? I said reptile keeping was glorious highs followed by just wonderful gut punching lows. And it's, sometimes you got a couple highs in a season. Sometimes it's nothing but haymakers to your stomach. Like it,
it's incredible. It's an incredible amount of work for an incredible amount of emotional, you know, reward. Where I'm like, you know, excitement. But that's it.
And that's the problem. You got to take good stuff with bed. Like this year, I got the Mad Hogs to breed. Lost the entire clutch of rhinos. So you got to take good with the bad, and they're live animals. They will find a way to make your day one of the best fucking days ever, or ruin it. Like it is just there you go.
I wish is like when I started out, I'm very jealous of the people that get a couple pairs of snakes if they're going to breed something, and then they breed it. And they sort of will sell that offspring and then take that and sort of build on another project or add another species or whatever the case would be. And they sort of like, they're just very regimented in how they add things to their collection. Whereas like, I think where I went wrong is just like, I got to have it all now, you know? And I was always worried about things like, you know, even with ScrubPythons or some of these Indonesian pythons, when I was working more with more variety of python species, it was just a matter of getting it now because you might not be able to get it in the future. So I always felt like I had to get it now. And then you become overwhelmed at some, you know, unless you're like to your point, right? Unless you're like super passionate about it or super dedicated to it, you try to make it work. But like,
or you have that ability to balance that kind of stuff. I mean, even if you're super dedicated and super into it, it's sometimes it can be hard. Like what Brandon was saying, he tries to do it twice a week, water bowl changes. Sometimes life gets in there and you can only do it once a week. And that happens. And, you know, unless you're going to be somebody like Nick that it just does this full time.
Well, that's
you're
different.
You're going to have to hit that sweet spot where you can balance everything. And it's hard.
I think
because
that's
something else in your life is going to suffer.
Yeah.
For me, honestly, it's time with my kid.
Right.
It's time with my wife.
right.
Because my wife wants me to go do something with my kid on
Right.
Saturday that's fun, and instead I'm in here cleaning the reptile.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I literally do this, and I sacrifice quality time with my son to do it, which is why he's in the reptile room so much.
Aha.
So I make up for that by involving him in this.
Right.
But his
Right.
attention span's this big, guys.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
he's
5
how
years
old now?
man.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
he'll be
yeah.
5 years old in November. So, you know, there's a lot of fun that I have lost with my son and sacrificed in order to do this at the level that I am today.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's something you have to make your peace with, you know.
That's what it is.
Yep.
I think the other thing that I've sort of that I've learned over the past couple of years is that, you know, I actually get more enjoyment out of the behavior of the animals. And
Yep.
I think my current setup, and so another thing that people get twisted a lot, and I'm curious on your guys' thoughts on this, is like, I think, like, let's say, like, I don't know what the right number is. Let's say 70% of the reptile community really are keepers that sometimes breed. Whereas, like, then you have like this other percentage with guys like Nick, Ryan, you know, that are doing it full time, that this is their job. This is what they do. And I think a lot of times we're taking advice from them on how to set things up. And we probably shouldn't be looking or criticize them for their model of how they do things. And we probably shouldn't be, because they're doing it differently than what we're trying to make them the same when they're not. You know what I mean?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Okay, so you have a kitchen at home, right?
Yeah.
You have, you know, you got your stuff all in one spot and a couple of this, couple of that. You got room to do your thing. Have you ever been in the kitchen in a restaurant? You ever been in the restaurant industry before? Been in the back of the house and worked?
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Are these two things built the same?
No. 100%. That's a great analogy.
That is a great analogy. I didn't think about that. It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Right.
You know, they're two very different things. And that's just how it is. And it needs to be like that. You know, the thing that sucks about that is the hate that gets thrown. The judgment that gets thrown, the bitterness that gets thrown. Because I'll take a step back and just circle back around to the scrub conversation that we had a second ago.
Sure.
You know, there's a couple things that I'll say. Number one, my opinion is positioned in such a way, probably because I'm the guy that had the patternless, that bred it to the regular, that produced the orange bandy things, that also considers himself a purist, and then got attacked for it and took it personally. Okay.
Yeah.
So my stance on that might have something to do with that. I am positioned in this way probably for those reasons. I can admit that. I can also look at the positions of the other guys that are just trying to maintain their locality projects and make sure that nothing gets fucked up, as the guy that's done that for carpet pythons for a very long time and been in the middle of those conversations, and 1,000% understand that their side of the coin as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the arguing and the back and forth. Obviously, I've gotten my gears twisted because there have been so many freaking private messages sent my way and this and that. It's all been public. And I had like 5 people pull me aside at the Anaheim show and ask me about it. Massive topic of conversation at Carpet Fest. I mean, it's like the thing to talk about right now. And it sucks. You know what I mean? It does. Because I just have snakes. I think it's fucking awesome. I want to produce more of them. I love it. I think it's fun, you know, and I'm not here to do anything wrong. I'm not here to do anything stupid,
right?
You know, but I do enjoy taking positions on things. And is any of it right or wrong? Man, the jury's out still. We'll see.
Yeah.
But I pick my side.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Sorry, Owen, what were you going to say?
No, it's just, you got to love that it's like, you can say 100 million things, but the one thing that everybody remembers is the one thing you're like, I kind of wish I hadn't done that, and I should really, well, this is here where we're at, and you got to kind of let it ride for a little bit.
Maybe it's just we're not us as human beings are not able to understand. We're not evolved with the technology that we have in front of our hands, right? So it's like, I don't know. It sometimes it makes me think like, if you post something up and like I could have posted something, like I said, in 2006, and I'm completely different than what I was in 2006. Does that mean that, you know what I mean? Like the idea, I love what you said, Brandon, about being able to, and this is sort of something that I've been trying to do myself, right? Is like, look at yourself and try to do the best that you can and not really worry about what other people are doing, and try to look at it from their perspective as well. You know what I mean? And I think if more people did that, maybe we would come to more common ground on things and stuff.
Dude, I'm definitely going into the whole thing of like, the second you don't enjoy it anymore, it's not a good hobby anymore. Like, the whole point of this is that it's a hobby, or and it's fun, unless you're going to do this for for a living. So the second you don't enjoy it, you fucked up. It's no longer fun. What are you doing? So it's hard to kind of get back to that sometimes, and I'm slowly getting back into there. So but yeah, you can very easily lose your way to the point where I think that's where a lot of people do get burnt out, is you get too involved in all the stupid bickering back and forth. You take your position for God knows why, and then all of a sudden it's a chore and it's stressful and it's not fun. So just keep it fun.
1000%. Man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I'm excited about?
What's that?
Dude, I'm doing a show this weekend, man.
Shit.
It's a little local show. There's only like 15 vendors. It's the Beast Marketplace.
Cool.
Okay. Down in San Diego. That's going to be sweet, man. I'm excited. Each vendor is not like the other. So there's only one carpet python vendor.
That I like.
One ball python vendor. One gecko vendor. One tarantula. You know what I mean?
I like that.
There's really no one else that's going to have the same stuff. And it's going to be cool, man. I'm excited. I just got these shirts today.
I was about to say, the shirts have changed, which I'm like, crap, now I got to get another one. But so when was the last time you did a show?
I've never fully done a show myself.
Oh my God.
I've done like half booths with friends where like I'm piggybacking on somebody else's booth, and I have my one little display with like 8 or 9 snakes that are available. But this is the first time where I'll have like
100% you
ready to rock and
table.
Roll. Yeah, ready to rock and roll. All right. I've got my big banner and my table. I bought tablecloths,
Oh man, you're high end, man.
Oh, this brings me back. Yeah.
I finally got I got square now.
Yeah. The good one. That'll annoy the hell out of you several times during a show.
I'm gonna forget so much important stuff.
Paper towels.
Paper towels. Bring paper towels.
Extension cord.
Yep. Whatever you use for bedding in your displays, bring that too. Because you're gonna need one snake is gonna take a shit like up the side of the glass and just kind of smear it, and then that you'll be wiping condensation off that one the entire time. And then
I always like to bring like
a gallon of reptile relief. That's
all right. Yeah.
You know how everybody else like makes you wash your hands with like hand sanitizer? I got reptile relief.
You're just gonna rip off the label and slap. Yeah.
Are you intending to hold a tarantula today? No.
Okay.
Yeah. You can always. If it's a bad show or if you're next to somebody really scummy, just take your tablecloth, put it in a bin or a black trash bag and spray the benvenomite in it, and then just seal it up and then leave it. So you can do that. Yeah, dude, there's always going to be something like I remember going to a show in Poughkeepsie, and then I got there and I realized I forgot the label maker and I didn't have anything labeled, and my handwriting is that of a serial killer. Yeah, so I had to go to a CVS that was open and buy a label maker because they just happened to have one and use it. I still have it somewhere around here. So
I don't have a label maker.
There you go. See,
I was thinking about just doing like a piece of paper and then having it on top, like in a little thing to say, you know, price list, boom, 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 boom. And then just have little stickers with the clutch IDs on everything. So I know what's what.
you're going to get asked a lot of questions about
That's
it.
the point. I want people to ask questions.
That is good.
You know how you know the first step to selling a snake to a customer?
Speaking to them.
Talking to the customer.
Get out of here, man.
Set it up so they have to talk to you about you.
Yeah.
I usually have a stick that's called the Board of Education that'll swing in front of my table to hit people. So sales have not been good lately, but yeah. But I feel better about myself.
Perfect, man.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. It's great.
That's cool. So that's cool. All right. So this Saturday, right? You'll be doing
Saturday,
that?
Sunday, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
it's a
2-day show.
show.
Okay. Yeah.
2-day show.
Are you is it close enough that you can come home to crash, or are you gonna have to crash at a hotel?
Dude, I've been in hotels for the last 3 weekends straight. I'm good. Yeah, no, it's an hour drive. I'll be home.
All right.
Yeah. Nice.
But say, don't make sure you lock up all the displays.
They're
if you're gonna
coming
stay
home
at a
with me.
hotel because
there you go.
that was the one time I woke up after a 2-day show or in between a 2-day show and found a carpet python running through the hotel room. So, yeah.
No, they're coming home.
Good.
Yeah. Good move.
Yeah.
So get back on. We've been jumping all over the place here,
Everywhere.
but back on track to the what do you got upcoming this season? You got the inlands you're super excited about. What else you got?
Inlands, rough scales. I'll shoot for ivory. I'm sorry. Rough scales are 2 years out.
Right.
I'll shoot for ivory zebras. I've never tried ivory thing before, and I think this year I'm ready to rock. Gelatins, maybe same thing. Should be ready to rock.
Freaking love gelatins.
This would be like my third attempt at Port Douglas.
Third attempt.
Yeah, I failed a couple.
Bane
times.
of your existence. I mean, have you gotten okay?
So is this the case that me and you are basically the only people with pairs of these things anymore?
Eric Kohler's got some.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to count Kohler in there somewhere with locality.
So he got a pair, or does he have? Because mine came from him.
He would not have just alone.
I
Kohler
don't know how many he has. I want to say he has at least a trio. He might have 2.2. I haven't talked to him about him in probably over a year, so I have no clue what he's got going on today.
I'll see him in October, but
he should have at least a pair. Yeah. But other than that, that's it. Yeah, you're right. There's a couple of us. I want to say, I don't know if I heard Joshua might have some. I don't know if he still does.
Joshua Easter?
Shekaful. I forgot it. How do you check? Josh, don't make me. I'm sorry, Josh.
Sorry, Josh. If you wanted a shout out, you needed an easier last name.
Yes.
Anyway.
Like Jones.
Jones. Always know who that guy is.
Josh Jones.
There you go.
Cool. Okay. All right.
And,
So
Brisbane. I'm sorry, not Brisbane's. Brettles, Barneck, Southerns.
Is it one of those that you hope you don't hit everything, because that's a lot of babies already?
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't want more than 100.
yeah, it's
Fuck that.
Yeah.
that's a lot of work in itself, man. You know, people
100's a lot
don't
of
realize like how much. You know, it sounds all good when you're putting the pairs together, and you're like, oh yeah, you know, 10 pairs.
I cranked out like 60 this year, and that sucks. So 100's gonna suck more, but I think that's about as sucky as I want it to get.
Yeah,
well, I would say that it's easier when you do certain pairings that you don't need to list for sale anywhere, that people are going to come kick down your door for them. Like I would say, like I'm down to like one baby Mad Hog left, and I haven't put anything up for sale. I didn't list shit.
Right.
So, and if I had gotten the rhinos, I would have sold them all immediately already.
You sold them all?
If the Mad Hogs, I got one male left that isn't spoken for. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't. I've done pretty well, and I'm thankful for everybody that's hit me up so far. I've done very minimal advertising.
Yeah.
I haven't, you know, and I've been fortunate. I had a good first run out the door, and I've got some stuff on hold, so it's been okay. But I don't know. We'll see. I think one of the main reasons I haven't really pushed it much is because I wanted to make sure I had animals for the show that I'm doing this weekend. Like,
Yeah.
I really wanted to come on strong. And then whatever I come back with, I'll do update shots and update the website and blast them wherever you think I need to, because I don't want to feed them anymore.
Yeah. That is the end part of it, where they start getting big and you're like, why are you still here? So
Dude, I'm so pissed. I did something stupid. Of course I did. All the time. I bought like 300 hopper mice at the Anaheim show.
And they blew past hoppers, didn't they?
No, I put them in the freezer. I fed the first thing. I needed to get some ice. The ice was underneath the hoppers. I pulled out the hoppers.
Did you pull a Burke?
I got the ice. I had my drink. I went on vacation.
Oh,
came back 3 days later. And
oh God!
Still in the garage.
Ooh.
Oh,
dude, that smells so
Did your wife just kill you?
So
I mean, come on, man.
I got in trouble for that.
Yeah.
She waited till I got home to tell me.
Oh, that's
because
worse.
she smelled it that day and went in there and was like, nope. So I walk in, the first thing she says is, so you did a thing.
Nice.
What?
Yeah.
What did I do? Like, it's
cool.
That sucks on many levels. One, because you're out all those mice. Two,
yes,
you had to deal with that. Like, you had to clean it. I guarantee you can still smell it in the garage every once in a while, or at least a couple days after, because I know I would have been able to.
I haven't been back in there since.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but just that room doesn't exist anymore. Okay.
You need ventilation in that one, man. Oh shit.
But I think Eric had it worse though. Like, didn't you? Was it a pack of small rats you left out or something like that, or was in the fridge, right?
Yes. Yeah, I've done that. And also when we were in the Northern Territory,
oh God, right. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Unfortunately I had a snake that died, and my wife contacts me when I get a signal, and she's like, I don't know what it is, but something is not right in your snake room. The house smells horrible. What do I do? And I'm like, I kind of had an idea. And I was like, okay. So I got Matt Minatola to come over, and he took care of it or whatever. And but like, oh man, I felt so bad because here I am in the Northern Territory. And I'm halfway across the world, and she's smelling this whole thing.
All the way on the other side of the planet.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh man, that was not good. But
our wives are troopers, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah. She puts up with a lot of shit from me, so I'm lucky.
I'm trying to get Melissa prepped for Arizona, because not only is she dealing with the snakes, she's got to take the dog to work with her every day, because he's now used to me being home, working from home. And like, I'm like, you're going to have to take him to work and throw him in a kennel. Otherwise he's just going to, like, I don't know, eat a door or something. Like,
he will literally.
He will eat the door. He will do it.
He will eat the door.
Yeah. That's why I have two dogs. So they can entertain each other while I'm gone.
Yeah,
I was too afraid to get another dog.
You can't have two zeros,
they would work together to ruin my life. So
yeah.
What kind of dog do you have?
Catahoula.
I don't know what that is.
It's a Catahoula Husky. It's basically one of those. It looks like a Aussie cattle dog, that blue kind of merle, but husky size, tall, and
so fluffy,
tall, fluffy, double coat. Listens to no one. And I think today, actually, we got a shipment of, my sister sent me one of those boxes that, like, they send you the food and the meal and the prep and stuff like that. I put all the food away, but I left the freezer packs in the box, and Zero ripped open the freezer packs that were filled with, like, gel. So I came home to find gel all over the kitchen.
No,
and Melissa had left them alone for 2 minutes. So
wow,
he's 11. He'll calm down any minute now.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, it's a race to his death.
Yeah, you broke that dog.
Just hoping. I'm hoping he dies before I do at this point.
You chose poorly.
I had a husky for probably 4 months, and just realized it wasn't the breed for me, and there was somebody else that wanted him more, and I moved it on. They're just not for everybody, man.
He's on massive amounts of medication just to take the edge off of him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No thanks. I'm a Doberman dad. I do Doberman. That's my thing.
We're gonna quit on dogs for a while after he goes. I'm gonna enjoy the not having to. Mammals suck. It's like it's constant.
Yeah.
Suck. So yeah.
Let's talk some carpet python.
Yeah.
So I'm curious what your thoughts are on breeding localities to outcross lines.
So to outcross localities to other stuff.
Yeah.
If it's the locality male to whatever your other project idea is female, and you're still able to breed the locality to keep that going, why the fuck not? Why can't you do both?
Now, do you think it's
good?
Do you think it's gonna end up being like we're gonna have to do it? Because like you said, like Brisbane's are all the Brisbanes in the United States come from the same two animals. And all we're doing is breeding brother to sister that were from a pairing that I'm pretty sure were brother to sister. Like, is it going to have to eventually be that we have to cross something to keep the line alive?
I don't think that's really relevant because you're not keeping the line at that point.
Right.
But I do think it'd be cool just to have coastals. You know what I mean? Because Brisbane's, they don't have to stay Brisbane's. They can be coastals.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just like Highlands don't have to be Highlands. They can be Southerns.
Right.
I see where you're going. So,
you know, I think absolutely, you know, stick with the project. If the project ends up fucked up to where there's just a whole bunch of problems and it's all bad and okay, cool.
Right.
We have a problem there. We're not going to be able to solve the problem and maintain the locality.
So breed it to a coastal and just everybody
copy and paste anything. But we can still, there's nothing wrong with breeding coastals.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? Pick a coastal, throw a boy to her. But I think you should be able to do both.
I think you totally can. Mean? Yeah.
I would just, for me, it would be the male that would stud out to whatever other female that it is. That way, you know, I'm using the female to continue what I'm trying to do, but at the same time, creating really cool coastal carpets because Brisbane's look dope, man.
Yeah, that's always the insult to injury where it's like I bred a retic to a Timor, and it's like, and the female was the Timor. It's like, you son of a bitch. Like, it's always the one step further is that they use the rare thing was the girl, and it's like, so yeah, stud the boy out.
I kind of feel like I think that we should utilize bloodlines to the best that we can with what we got, right, and try to ultimately, I would rather have, to your point, Brandon, like I would rather have a coastal carpet python that I knew was a coastal carpet python for all intents and purposes. Let's just say that our localities are legit and all, you know what I mean? I don't even want to have that debate or whatever. I'm just saying, let's just say that that's solved and it's legit. But I would rather have a coastal carpet than a fucked up Brisbane, if that makes sense. Right. You know what I mean? Like, you could probably get that phenotype out of a Brisbane, but you know, I think both are cool because you want to still preserve those bloodlines. So I don't look at it as any different than like if you have bredli that are Price or, you know, you have Harris line or whatever, and you breed Price and Harris together, but you still sort of have those bloodlines be separate so that if you wanted to do a Harris and a Lasik, you could do that as well. That makes sense? You know what I mean? That's sort of like the way I've been looking at it lately.
I mean, with the bloodlines, I'm thinking, hi, baby, thank you. Say hi. Say hi, be popular.
No. Hi, bye.
I'm making dinner.
Beer. So, you know, and that's the thing with the bloodlines. Like, it's cool to keep the bloodlines, but and I try to, because the bloodline and the locality, you get a different thing. Same thing, but different thing. Because you can have a bloodline that's a bloodline, and another thing is what constitutes a bloodline. Okay, like how do you get to be able to name a bloodline your bloodline? Like, what
I don't even
do to earn that right.
Well,
are you the end of the totem pole when it comes to lineage? Is that why? Because that makes sense to me.
I think in some cases you are. I think in other cases your stuff just looks better than everybody else's.
Well,
so they
But
kind
at
of
that point, I
slap
think
it
it's
on
your
you.
customers that
Right.
make that
Yeah,
decision.
the customers make it
Not
your
you.
bloodline, not you. Yeah.
well, I think there's a difference between a bloodline and a line. So to me, a bloodline would be, I got 2 wild caught poplin carpets
Right.
imported from Papua, and I put them together and I produced the clutch. This is a bloodline that's unrelated to anything that's in the United States or
Right.
in the world or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That
You
is
have
how
this.
you do a bloodline.
That's
Yeah.
a bloodline. A
I would
line
agree.
would be, right?
I
To
grab
me, a
all
line
these-
would be I guess probably the easiest thing to sort of look at that would be sort of like Gamma, right?
Mm,
Sure.
It's a diamond jungle jag. He bred that animal and he went and bought that animal, and it has this phenotype of being crazy looking yellow, whatever, and he bred it to all these different things. That Gamma is his line. You know what I mean? So to
Right.
me, it's not necessarily that line traces back to, it could trace back to wild caught stuff, but more than likely it's not going to.
Well, with
Doesn't
that,
have to.
with that, it's irrelevant. The only thing that matters is that it was cutting edge at the time.
right.
Right.
It was special at the time of its for that era in the history of Morelia. Having a Gamma Jag that looked like the Gamma Jag, that was special. It was important. It was unique. There was nothing else like it.
Right.
And even though its name was Gamma, it was really the customers that bought the Gamma stuff that created the Gamma line.
Yeah.
Right.
More so than it was John.
Yeah. He didn't say
No,
like, oh, here's my line of, he just called them
Exactly.
Diamond
He's going
Jungles. You know what I
gammas,
mean?
yeah.
Yeah, and because Gamma was the name of the snake. But like, say you have a Jaguar today that's whatever Jag, and you breed it to a jungle. Did you make a line?
No. In my
No.
opinion, no.
No.
right.
Now, if you bred it and something freaky came out, is it a line now?
Maybe.
Or did you make a morph?
I think at that point you
No.
have to keep it and you have to reproduce it, and the babies have to look special.
I
Right.
think like Keith
Keep it, you
McPeak.
reproduce it, and the babies are special. I'm
Yeah.
sure you did.
Yeah.
So you think of Keith McPeak with his Borneos, right?
Yeah.
He bred specific traits. They're not necessarily say a morph. Maybe it's polygenic. You know how Borneos, you don't know what the hell, how the genetics works.
Nothing
Even
makes
Travis Wyman can't figure it out.
Right.
If he can't figure it out, we're all
Then
screwed,
all's lost. Yeah.
But,
NPR's resident geneticist couldn't figure it out. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. Yeah.
but I think he bred for specific things. So like, his, ghosts or whatever, or his marbles would be, there's other marbles out there, but he bred them, specifically to go this way. I remember in the early days of like pastel ball pythons, right? There was one guy, Albie's Too Cool Reptiles or whatever, but like he had the pastels that everybody wanted because, he specifically bred that to a specific other animal. And even though they're all pastels, his line of pastels, everybody wanted those because they had a specific look to them. To me, that would be a line.
Well, also what happens is like the new morph comes and the wave crests over everything, and then people move on to the next thing. But then every once in a while, people will decide to stick with that morph and make it their own and really kind of
Refine it.
play with it, refine it, and stuff like that. And then eventually, once the morph wave has kind of moved down, people realize that these things are killer, or they really want this animal to cross to this, and they go and they seek out these people that have worked with just this morph.
Right. Here would be an example of what I'm trying to get people to understand, right? So you're working with ivory jungles. Ivory jungles have been, bred for what, 25 to 20 years or whatever it's been that they've been selectively bred, right?
Right.
So they've been the 90s. Okay. So yeah,
Wow.
so a long time, right? And I don't think it would be wrong to outcross that to a gelatin, because they sort of like you're not going to get it away, but you're sort of going to regenerate the line with some new blood.
Yeah, it's been done.
Yeah, sure. 100%.
It's been done already. It's
Yeah.
not like until right now publicly advertised, but it's been done.
Yeah.
You know why it's not publicly advertised? they're not pretty.
Right.
They're kind of gross. Oh, okay.
And they look a lot like gelatins.
Right.
You know,
That makes
so
sense.
much like gelatins, you can't really tell they're not. And so that's dangerous. And that was kind of an abandoned mission. So that's sort of what
Right.
happened there.
Well, that's the other problem too, right?
Mhm.
You have that to where people will breed it to this ivory, and then it's like, oh, well, now I can't sell this as one or the other, so I'm just going to make them gelatins, and that's always the fear that we worry about, things like that happening.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to zebra, because that's what had to happen, because I'm doing ivory zebra stuff, and my female, she's 50% ivory, 50% is an ivory bred to super zebra, so I'm going to try to make 75%ers, and for me, my focus with that is the zebra itself, because I'm obsessed with zebra. It's my favorite morph, how everybody kind of has their thing or that morph that they dive into. For me, it's zebra. I like it. There's my alarms going off. I smell fire. Hold on. Definitely.
Okay, so I guess your wife's cooking is going well. So
yeah, there might be some fish sticks in there, maybe.
Okay.
I don't think I'm gonna die. We're cool. I don't hear screaming.
All right, just keep going.
Okay.
As the smoke slowly builds up around you. Keep going, guys. It's fine.
We only got another 20 minutes. Just push through.
So, I was able to produce a certain look that I really like with one of my zebras, and I want to make more of that and better and different. And I want the coolest variety of zebras that I could possibly have, because I just think it's a great morph.
Right.
You know what I hate? Super zebras.
Yeah.
They're ugly.
You lose all the fun. I'll tell you that much. Yeah,
they're ugly, dude.
I think one of the cool things about carpet pythons is the variability in pattern, and especially a morph like the zebra, where it's really the pattern that sort of you can go so many different directions with that pattern. Some are like more black than yellow, so it looks like a pinstripe yellow. You got the opposite where it's more yellow than black, and you got this pinstripe black. Or you could do like, some of them have like it's crazy, man.
Crazy blocky patterns,
right? Yeah,
make no damn sense,
and you lose that if you go a different route.
Well, if you get super and then you get the whole, I'm with you, man. It was like I had to like a couple projects that were super zebra related, and just the dying of the eggs, and I don't know, man. Breeding morphs like really kind of like, I don't know, it's a kick in the balls, man. It's like you did all this work, you have all this stuff, and then you just get shit snakes, and you're like, what the hell do I do with this? And it's just, that's what made me get out of Jags. That's, it's just like I don't know. It's just such a bummer. I get it. People do it, and I have nothing against it. Just, it's not me. You know what I mean? For me, I can't do it.
I don't think there's anything wrong with super zebras other than they're ugly. But I'm never going to do a zebra to zebra pairing.
Yeah.
I will never. I have never. I will never. I certainly have the ingredients. It's not going to be a pairing that I do.
Yeah.
Because I like normals too. You know what I mean? Like, I love the normal. I want both. I don't want to have all zebras in one clutch.
Just one straight. You want zebras and jungles. Yeah.
The normal jungles look. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's kind of where I'm headed. That's my that's my pet project for the jungles. Or I want zebra everything, and I do want gelatin zebras, which I won't call gelatin zebra, but I totally want to throw gelatin, because if I was going to do gelatin to anything, I would do it to an ivory zebra.
Right.
That makes sense. That makes the most sense out of anything to do that.
And then I don't know what I would do. It would honestly depend on how the babies look, and then I would tweak it from there and carry that project wherever I wanted, and and that's all good and fine.
Right.
But I just really like zebra stuff. That's my thing.
Yeah, cool.
Worth a shot.
Yeah, that's cool. So all right, I think that's probably. I think we probably all agree to some extent on that topic. But I guess my closing thing that we can sort of rant on is like, what do you feel is like the carpet python community, hobby, whatever? Like, where do you think it's at?
State of the Union kind of a deal? Like, what's the state of the carpet python Morelia hobby?
Stagnant.
Sweet. Cool.
I don't mean that to be negative. I just think that the excitement for carpet pythons isn't today what it was 2, 3, 4, or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's okay.
Yeah.
Things trend up and down. Things do what they do. There's definitely some people that are super excited about it. And also, I think it depends on the keeper and their phase of where they're at. Because people get into and out of things, and it's almost like you can map someone's trajectory and what they're into, depending on how long they've been into it and kind of where they started.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think that pop ones are still super popular. I think that black and yellow is the coolest thing in the world. Coastals are always going to be on the back burner for some reason. I don't know why. I think they're rad.
Me and Eric Hernandez are going to change that.
There you go.
Eric Hernandez is light years ahead of you, buddy.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, he's got some nice stuff, man. Yeah, that dude's on fire.
Starting to get to a point where it's like that red is mind numbing. I don't even need to look at the comments that say that this guy bought it from Eric Hernandez. Oh, there it is. So
that red Jag you have isn't too shabby there either,
she's
my friend.
Right. I mean, she's all right. She's okay.
So you think? Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't think that carpets are a good investment animal if you are trying to make money. If you're trying to make money, breed ball pythons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
If you love carpet pythons and you think carpet pythons are the shit, breed love carpet pythons. But they're not your investment snake. They're not your money snake. Okay. They're your awesome snake. That's beautiful to look at, fun to interact with, not nearly as bitey as people think they are. Like there's so many different great things about carpet pythons. But if you're thinking about breeding them because you're going to make a bunch of money and like retire off carpet pythons, that's cute.
Been doing it for 10 years. Eventually that retirement's coming, right? So
it's just, they're a great, I like the price range that they're at, most of them being up. I mean, what's the most expensive morph that you've seen right now? I mean, we're up to what, 3,000 maybe 3,500.
Right.
Is about the most expensive that you can buy a carpet python at right now.
Right.
What about a ball python?
I have no idea. I'm
think
sure
ball
it's probably.
Pythons, the problem is ball pythons have a very large price range because they have so many different mutations and combinations and this, that, and the other thing. So you see at the shows how there's like multiple tables of ball pythons. I guarantee you, if you went around, you could have ball pythons that are like $25 all the way up to like $5K, like, and every number in between.
And I'm sure somebody like Kabilka is probably selling his for like $10K.
There's still plenty of $10,000 snakes out there, though, right?
Of course. Yeah. I mean, that's where I kind of have the thing where I have my carpet projects that I'm enjoying, but I'm finding more enjoyment out of the weird fringe species shit, like Timors and white lips and. Now the worst part is that now I'm wandering into fringe species colubrids, which is fringe on fringe. It's ridiculous.
I know what the best part about that is, though, Owen, you're going to cycle back around.
Yeah, you will.
Go that way.
Here's the thing.
I'm going to go that way into the woods. And
here's the thing.
I'll
bet you this is what happens. This is what's going to happen, right? Everybody that was into carpet pythons, all of a sudden they get in this kick, whether it's influenced by people like us or YouTube people or whatever, then all of a sudden they want this like species that's outside of the norm and isn't necessarily kept by everybody or, and I think if everybody's honest with themselves, part of that is ego. I think part of that thing has nothing to do with the fact that you're super happy about this snake. You just want to be the person that breeds it and can say to everybody and make your post and look,
will
so and so bred this. Oh, somehow he's the greatest. Oh, somehow she's the greatest because they bred the white lip or they bred
I will make you
meanwhile,
start referring to me as King Owen when I come back on the show after I get the white lips. But
right.
Go on.
But well, see, you're different, Owen.
I know I'm a glutton
you
for
like
punishment.
the pain. You like the pain.
There's
no
where I
doubt.
That's why I have a
in my
stack
opinion,
of Mad Hog babies.
Yes.
Mad Hogs right here.
Well,
because apparently I enjoy this shit.
And there's people like that are drawn to these obscure things because they like the challenge or whatever. But I would venture to say that the majority of people that get into those type of species, myself included, right? Halmaharas, right? Was I passionate about Halmaharas as I was as an IJ?
No.
Fuck no. No way.
But you wanted
it was
to
like,
try.
oh, I want to try it, and I want to see if I can take a stab at the herpetoculture history and be one of the people that was able to produce this thing. And like, you know what happens 9 times out of 10, you don't produce it because you're not passionate about it, right?
Right.
So I could give 2 shits if carpet pythons are worth $2. I don't care if they're worth $10,000. To me, that's my snake, right? That's the snake that I will always have. It's the snake that I will always be into. It doesn't give a shit about what's going on. It doesn't matter to me. But what's going to happen is everybody's going to drop their carpets, right? And they're going to say, "Oh no, I don't want to get out. I want to breed this and Maclots and this and that and Apodora and all these different shit." And like, oh yeah, that's great, But then they're like, oh well, these kind of suck. And that's why I keep saying that, just make sure you know what you're getting into, right? If you're coming from a carpet python and now all of a sudden you're going to have a ring python, right? Well, when you're having a carpet python, you don't necessarily have to worry about the two of them eating each other. So you're just like, oh yeah,
dude,
well, there's a reason why people don't produce them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and rings are on that thing where it's like, my ring python, her cage is constantly wet just because of the humidity and like the fact that she has that humid hide box, but she's also voracious. She wants food every fucking time, and she comes flying out that cage.
But I think the part that I often leave out of that speech that I give when I say that is like that if you feel the way that I feel about carpet pythons, about ring pythons,
then you need to do rings.
Go for it.
Then you need to do as many rings
do what
as you
can.
do.
You can sell all your shit and be the ring python person because that's what you love to do, and the Swedish couple that's over in Europe, they do ring pythons and they have those crazy barred ones and all kinds of crazy shit.
Or it's like a black head and it's just an orange snake. And it's like, God damn it. Like, it's
well, what'll happen is people will like all of a sudden something will happen. I mean, it happened with poplins. Remember when we started this? Nobody gave 2 shits about an IJ carpet, right? And then all of a sudden, like you're posting them up, it's like, oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. And then somebody else gets them and likes them and posts some stuff up. And now everybody, it turned a $100 snake turned into a $400 snake, which to me is the prime spot. And I think to me where Morelia people, carpet python people miss the boat is that we're not selling them as pets to people. We're selling them as breeding projects. They are pets. They are like the perfect pet python. I don't care what you say, man. They're the perfect pet python for somebody. They're big enough to be on display. They're going to be out. They're arboreal. They're not as finicky as a chondro, right? Chondros can be a little bit finicky, right? But if that's your snake, whatever. But like to the average person that's going to go and get a pet snake and they want a python and they want something big, right? They go to the ball python, but then you got the whole it doesn't eat for this time frame, and that's simple shit for us that have dealt with that kind of stuff. But to the average person that's just buying a pet, they're going to be like, oh my God, what am I going to do?
Tweak out.
Slinky is not eating. He hasn't eaten in weeks. I don't know, man. I'm down off my soapbox.
I actually had a caramel jag that went blind in one eye, and he had some pretty bad neuro. And Melissa took him into the office for just a vet checkup, and one of the techs there like absolutely loved him, and I'm like, take him. And he's now living the life of a retired breeder in a giant ass cage, all set up with sticks and shit. He's the only python she owns, and she's like, oh, he sits out and he's gorgeous, and I'm like, yeah. I totally forgot all these things about him, but like he is.
I think for me, right, and again, this is, and I'm just being honest, right? Like years ago when I was like, oh, I want to keep all these species of pythons because I was influenced by guys like Nick and Ryan and all this stuff, right? But that's where That's where their passion is, right? And it took me years to find out that my passion is Australian reptiles. That's what it is. You know what I mean? I love Australian reptiles. It's the happiest I've been in my collection because I'm keeping things that I want and not what I think that I have to have in order to have some kind of cred.
You tell the people what you got.
You know what I mean? I don't fucking care. I don't care.
Gecko breeder.
Yeah.
Like you want to tell the people what you did.
Oh yeah, I got a gecko. Who cares, man? See, it's like somehow I'm less of a reptile keeper because I have a gecko.
My God.
You know what I mean? It's like, but
to be fair, that's because you already had to deal with crickets because you got the monitors. You have crickets now. Which opened a new floodgate of shit. Because now
if you can deal with crickets, soon he'll have a dubia colony any minute now.
Yeah, no doubt.
You don't have a dubia colony?
Not yet.
Not yet. Don't you worry.
Oh man.
Yeah. That's coming soon. Baby.
I know. I got the Kimberleys and the Ackies and the.
You got what was
like,
it?
What the hell?
It was a rough scale gecko, right?
No, it's an oscillated. It's what would you call it? An oscillated.
I don't know.
Shit.
Why
you're making me draw a blank.
Yes.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You didn't come prepared. I don't know geckos. I don't like animals that are designed to come apart.
I know the scientific name, but I've never said it out loud, and I'm not going to say it out loud because it's going to make me sound like an idiot as usual.
And we don't want to do this.
Scott's paying attention. He's going to be like, "You idiot!"
Lucas is saying velvet gecko.
Yeah, it's an oscillated velvet gecko.
Okay.
Yeah.
Intern gets a point. Thank you, Lucas.
Yes. Anyway.
That's awesome, man.
No, definitely do what you love. And if you love giant bitey snakes at head level, I think you're a little crazy, but yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
just a tiny taste.
Just a little bit. So if King Horneye were to become available, would you jump on that grenade?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
What about Owen Pelly Python? It's
Absolutely.
Close. Okay.
Of course I would.
All right.
Yes.
Why wouldn't you?
That's a huge, massive yes. I'd sell everything.
Jesus.
Sell everything.
You wouldn't?
I mean, dude.
Come on.
You wouldn't know. You and I both know.
Snakes I'm attached to.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't sell everything, but you would make room. Yeah, I would too.
You know, it's
I'd sell everything except that stack.
Start from the beginning. It's just you and Gypsy again. Start from the beginning. Scrap it all. Just back to the beginning.
I've done it 3 or 4 times throughout my life. I mean,
Jesus,
I'd be way further along in where I'm at right now if I hadn't moved from California to Utah to California to Tennessee to California back to Tennessee back to California, which literally happened. All of that is true. That's the timeline of my life.
You're just gonna stay in Cali. You're staying in Cali right now. You're good.
Nowhere.
You're nowhere. Okay,
this is it. San Diego for life, baby.
All right,
Nice.
all right. You got close with Tennessee. You were close to being within the East Coast grasp. You know.
See, he knew. Scott knew exactly what it is, and I would have butchered that. It's Oedura, and I'm probably butchering it now.
Manilus?
Yeah.
Manilus.
It's a gecko. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I just love Australian shit. That's it. That's where it's at.
What's the word on Australia will export open? Never. There has to be a lot of lobbying for that to
There's not enough money.
Right. Which there is. If you were to open it up to captive born and bred breeders to export captive born and bred animals, the money would be there. But
there's not enough fluff money on the front.
Exactly. It's never going to happen. Plus, there's too much of an open thing of potential poaching and stuff like that. So it's never going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Unless the Australian government loses its mind, which I would be.
One of the reasons I love Australian stuff so much is like we're 2 or 3 generations away from it's probably not going to be here. You know, I mean,
dude, like Owen Pellies are already on the AZA list from Gavin, so they could already be sent over to any AZA accredited facility in the U.S.
So why can Owen Pelly be on an AZA list but not King Horneye?
I don't know. I think the King Horneyes could probably be on the list, but I'm not sure if they were. I mean, if they're being produced in I think maybe Gavin has some sort of license or something like that to allow him to export the animals or for them to be in AZA things. I would think any AZA zoo in Australia that has scrubs could put them on a list that any zoo in the U.S. could jump on. So I don't know. I would say a zoo in the U.S. could get kinghorn eye.
I just noticed that Lucas put water in the
Oh, what a
comment.
And the intern has lost his
Because,
point.
Scott,
Oh.
hold on, throw Scott's comment up.
Yeah,
there.
because kinghorn eye is not recognized as a species in Australia. I
So
didn't
there's
know
no
that.
Anestina in Australia.
No, it's isn't it I want to say it's Clark's eye, maybe? There's two of them, right?
So there's 2 scrubs in Australia and they're Clark's eye?
No, not both of them. I think one
is.
I think they want to say is one is I always fuck this up. Because I'm not really a scrub guy, but there's
Scott,
two,
help us.
there's 2 different supposedly there's 2 different
Can we
species.
just send him the link?
Yeah, can we just tell him to get on the phone?
Get him in here. Man, send him the link.
This is why I don't like it that we're not a call-in show anymore. We can't just scream. All right.
Thanks, Scott. It's still Anestina.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. Simple answer.
Well, then, yeah, I would imagine that you could get a scrub if you're a zoo. I think so. But why?
Well, the San Diego Zoo had one that they said is the largest species of python in Australia, and bloom, 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 bloom. But the thing is, it was clearly a strong.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like just
that's the other part. You know,
it was perfect. Beautiful, massive, beautiful parting. Every bit of a 15-foot snag. Send the link. I have 5 minutes. Do it.
Do things. But no, I would. Rough Scales got here and got in private hands. It's only a matter of time for Owen Pelly. Yeah,
it can
where there's a will, there's a way. It'll get there.
It's gotta happen, man.
Yeah,
I think it would be fantastic. I mean, just looking at all the different photos, I just want one, dude. You know what I mean? Like, you know why I want one? Because I don't want to retic. I don't want to burn.
Retics suck.
I mean, I get African rock python would be kind of cool, but I just don't have.
Wait a minute, you don't want a retic, you don't want a berm. So what you want is something the size of a retic and a berm, but with attitude.
Yes,
that makes very little sense. But all right,
makes great sense.
Shut up! I am not. I am the host on this program. I don't have to answer questions.
You do.
Oh man.
Anyway.
There he is. What else would be cool that we can't have that I do want? Because Eric was talking to me.
Yay!
That's great.
We have special guest appearance.
Yeah. We fucked up too badly. Scott has to come. Yeah.
Yes.
Correct. Honestly, guys, good day, everyone. It's not too bad. The issue is that the Australian government follow COGA, right? So COGA's book, if you guys haven't seen it, I'm sure most of you guys have seen it. The last reiteration of that was from 2018. How, along with a few of us, have got the same problem with the Chippendale paper in that they did a good job with regards to Norta and Tracy A and a few of these other ones, but they did a bit of an average job when it came to defining where Amethystina and Kinghorn eye stop and start. And so the issue then becomes the Torres Strait. And so in the Torres Strait, you've got an animal called Duraburacensis, you've got an animal called Clark eye, and you've got further south, you've got Kinghorny. And so depending on which is the appropriate name, that requires more research. And so Hal and Hal and others, and we followed suit, the reason we used Amethystina is for stability. So rather than going, oh, we're going to call it Kinghorny when it might be something else or whatever, we've just left it as the status quo. And so as a result, because the Australian government follow what COGA has in regards to legislation, and he's only recognised Amethystina, that's why you don't see Kinghorn eyes coming out of Australia, because there's no such thing as Kinghorny, according to the Australian government.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy. You just dropped a bomb.
So they won't even grant any kind of a permit for a zoo because this animal doesn't exist.
No, because they would give you a permit for Amethystina. The animal exists, but it exists as amethystina, not as King Horny.
Okay.
Okay, so it still exists. It's not like it's an undescribed species or anything. It's
not big
there.
But
it's
shut up.
But it's class. It's only the reality of it is it's classed as amethystina as opposed to King Horny or whatever. Now there's likely 2 species of scrub in Australia. One of them will probably end up being King Horny because King Horny's described from Lake Barine near Cairns. And so that's this southern thing where there's probably another one up on the Torres Strait. And that's also likely in southern New Guinea. So, there's people working on it as well. So, without letting the cat out of the bag too much, there's more shit to fucking figure out.
Gotcha. And that the zoos in the U.S. just might not be interested in importing something that's still being worked on or whatever. It's not a money grab or whatever. I don't know.
Well, I don't understand why you want them, to be honest.
I mean, we don't have.
I've caught them, and I've caught some fucking massive ones. And
what's the largest scrub you've caught locally?
17 feet.
Jesus.
And thicker than my thigh. And I'm not a little fella. I'm not tall, but I'm a fat bastard.
That's fucking crazy, man. Yeah,
right?
That's a lot of snake.
If you want to see how fucking big it is, right? I've got a size 13 foot, right? So that gives you a bit of an idea. You jump on my YouTube, it says massive Somalia amethystina, and I put my foot down next to this fucking thing. It is huge. It is a scary snake. And
that's awesome.
I looked at that thing, and I was more scared of it than working with a fucking taipan out in fucking 300 cats from nowhere. There's no anti-venom to lack of oxygen.
Yeah. It's very true.
Snake. That is a big snake. And it was, man, I was recovering from surgery, and when I came across this thing, and I wasn't meant to be picking up 2 kilos, and yeah, it was a big snake. I'll just leave it at that.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's so cool.
Oh wow.
But yeah, seriously, if you have a look at that YouTube, you'll see an idea of the size of it. It's a fucking massive snake.
I'm gonna check that out. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Awesome.
I thought it was a crocodile when I first saw it.
Oh shit.
So eye shine, right? So anyone that, I think I've explained what eye shining is before. So I shine this thing from like 50 meters away, and I was in a swamp, and I was sitting there, and I looked at this thing, and I've gone, fuck, those eyes are a long way apart. Fuck, it must be a croc. And I was thinking it was like a little 5-foot salty or something like that, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be fun. And so I'm creeping up to this thing, and then next thing I just see this fucking snake, just a mass, just like appear out of the fucking grass. I'm like, holy shit, that's big. And look, I've seen a lot of scrubbies. I'd never seen anything like this, right? Wow. And I'm like, far out. What the hell am I going to do with this? And I was like, well, and like I was 2.5K from the car where it was, and I was like, I'm not lugging my camera back. By the time I get, and then I was like, oh, how do I? No, can I rest? How am I going to do this? And that's why it's a guess of around 16 to 17 feet, because I couldn't measure it. It's too big for me to pick up.
Jesus.
Not that I'd ever pick something up in the bush anyway, you know.
No, never. That never happens. No. Nobody's ever done that.
No. It was quite incredible, that's for sure. So, but yeah, so.
Cool.
Wow.
Right on, cool. Thanks, man.
That's awesome.
So, are you a monolith, by the way, Eric?
Yes, there it is. I got it.
And mate, as much as I'll give people shit and all the rest of it for you guys, I give you shit about the way you pronounce words in general, as opposed to anyone having a crack at pronouncing a scientific name. At the end of the day, anyone that does that actually has a go at somebody over it or tries to make them feel like a dick, they need to be slapped, right? Because at the end of the day, we all have to learn. We all have to learn somewhere, right? We don't, you know, that's what's wrong with the fucking hobby is people are in it to try and fucking belittle people. How about fucking, instead of belittling someone, how about you help somebody instead?
Right.
Yeah.
We don't have to be assholes, you know?
All right, but you still said King Horny.
King Horny. 100%.
The horny scrub. That's what I'm gonna.
Oh, God damn it.
So it's a single I. If it's a single I, it's pronounced E, right? So
got it.
You know, it's a single I. You pronounce it as an E. You know, it makes it. You know, whatever floats your boat. You know, at the end of the day. You know, we can talk about you being called Morelia House, Brandon, when you're keeping Somalia.
I have more.
He has Morelia. It's okay.
And they were Morelia when I named myself Morelia House. Scrubs were still Morelia, for the record.
Yeah, but if you've evolved the shirt and you've evolved everything, and you're doing this, why don't you change the name and be done with it?
Yeah,
I still think the Morelia. I think Morelia.
No, it's great to say that. We were.
I'm taking the piss.
Hold on. We were talking about this in at Carpet Fest, that if I can actually get a clutch of scrubs on the ground, we're gonna do a shirt where I cross out the Morelia and then put Somalia like in
just
above it, and just
that's so good
by the babies.
For sure. You can call yourself Somalia Shack.
I was about to say that. Done.
Right? You know,
we'll make
and look, we all know with Eric's changes in regards to his keeping strategy, it's now monitor Python radio as opposed to Morelia Python radio.
And I quit. I can't do it. I don't have any. Yeah.
No, you don't have to quit. Your contract is now defunct.
Oh, you're right.
That's right.
I'm free.
You should be you should now be paid out because Eric's done this. So you need to get paid out. The problem is 0 of 0 is still 0.
That's right.
That's a good point. Yeah.
That is 100% correct.
That is a very good point. Yeah.
Far out, guys. All right. Well, look, great conversation so far. I'm really enjoying it. Hopefully you guys can give me some more shit because I'm always deserve more shit, and go from there. Geez, there it is.
There it is.
That's the video. All right.
Oh my
God. So just follow. So follow this through. So I haven't got a tiny fucking hand, and that's the back end of the snake. You can see how ticked off it is too. Look at the way it's flicking its fucking tail. Right?
Wow.
Wait till you see this. This is the part that will fucking actually sort of. You go, right, okay, this is a decent sized snake, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, it doesn't look that big. And
any minute we'll find the head here. Yeah.
Oh, it's a big fucking snake.
Jesus.
Oh, holy shit.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a big snake, man.
Oh
wow.
Now, remember just how long and skinny fucking scrubbies are.
Yeah.
Right? That is a big fucking snake.
Oh my God.
Love it.
Wow.
You know? So yeah, I mean,
yeah.
And honestly, a snake that size, that was, you sit there and go, oh, when we talk about on licensing over here and all the rest of it, they're worried about people keeping taipans. Fuck, I'll be more scared about someone keeping that.
Yeah.
Because honestly, the reality of it is a snake like that, I don't care fucking how experienced any of the people are here on this podcast are.
Yeah.
None of us can handle that snake if that snake decides to go fucking nuts.
Yeah.
No.
You cannot do it. You've got to go, right, you know what? I need to shut the fucking door and walk out.
Yeah.
And then come back. And then come back in 10 minutes when the snake calms its shit down, and then come back into it. Because a snake that is throwing loops like that, of that size, you can't control.
Yeah.
No.
100%.
No.
That'd be nuts.
That's why I worry about people with Apodora, man. They don't realize how freaking strong that snake is, man.
Yeah, I'd love to play
I've been wrapped. I got wrapped by a pretty good sized berm once. That sucked. Have you got anything big? You were afraid.
I was grabbed by a 15-foot scrubby on the shoulder, and it wrapped me. And I was wearing a big jacket, and because I was wearing a big jacket, the teeth didn't get me great. But when it went around me and it actually fucking gripped, I was like, holy shit. I could not inflate my chest when it gripped. And it was only because I had I grabbed it by the head. It decided to throw the coil around my arms instead of around my throat. And because it threw, and it was all complete fucking luck as opposed to good management. When I grabbed it by the head, it grabbed around my wrist, pulled my wrist together, and then I've got this snake now down by my arms. I could then get my leg into it, pushed it off with my leg, and then the snake let go of the head, and then the snake just sort of fucking bit me on the bloody leg a couple of times, and then pissed off over behind other enclosures. I could get control of it again. But that was through dumb luck as opposed to good management.
Right.
Jesus.
You know, and that's a 15-footer. You know, compare that to that thing that was only about 2 feet longer, but the mass of that snake was so much more. How people keep large berms and large anacondas and large reticulated pythons and shit like that overseas, and there's not more death, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
They feed the shit out of them so they can't move.
Yeah, they
fat
get
and don't wanna go.
real fat.
Yeah.
It's like a cheeseburger coma.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Feeding it
but
pigs, it won't do anything. Yeah.
I don't know. I think look, don't get me wrong, there's risk. There's risk to everything. There's risk in crossing the street.
Sure.
You know, there's risk in eating a hamburger. You know, there's risk in all sorts of stuff. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you got to add up risk and all the rest of it. But at the same time, some snakes are much more of a handle, more of a problem, I suppose, than people realise at times. That's all. So,
Yeah.
That's the best thing about carpet pythons. They don't get big enough to really fucking make a big mess of you.
That's
That
right.
is true. Or make a giant mess in their cage. You know, big snake takes big shit. So, yeah.
100%.
I'll stick with my
All
crap.
Crap.
Yeah, man. We've only got imbricata and diamonds these days. Yeah,
Son of a bitch.
Damn. What happened?
You know, it's
Nice jab.
if you're gonna keep them, you might as well keep the best ones. You know.
That's right.
Eric's been throwing a hell of a lot of interest in Owen too of late, so that's quite good.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
You know, hopefully I'll get some lockups, and you know we can. That'll be an interesting photo to put up.
The Eric and Owen babies.
That
All
would
right.
be really weird.
Eric and Owen,
Yours
mate.
outside. You
Yeah.
keep yours outside, don't you?
Yeah. So we've got them outside. So the diamonds are out all winter. You'll see them out on the thing. The imbricata are a bunch of pussies. They're out half the time in winter and half the time they're not. So, but yeah, it's really nice keeping them outside. And honestly, I still don't understand why more people don't keep them outside. You're in California, Brandon. Fuck, I'll be keeping most of my shit outside if I could.
My dog.
Crazy, man.
No.
Yeah.
dog's right.
Somebody would report him doing something and he'd have to deal with that crap. So, yeah.
I don't trust my wife.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, like keeping them outside is so much more fun.
Oh, yeah.
I'd
I
love
imagine.
to. If I ever move into a larger yard, you know, better backyard situation, 1,000%
Yeah.
I want to do it. 1,000% I want to do it. I'm just not really set up for it where I'm at right now, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, you know, keep going out with the room, man. It's you know, I caught a little bit of it at the start of the thing, and it looked fucking amazing. So, you know, more power to you.
Man, thank you. I'm working hard on it. I'm dropping. Your room was honestly my motivation to do my room, because Scott's room, that thing is perfect. I mean,
Dude, it's mint.
I
got
love
the
that.
moon
Yeah.
in there. Come
Yeah.
on.
That's your reptile room goals.
Yep.
Oh, look, it's, you know what, and, you know, I'll do it over again, and I'll do things differently again too.
Yep.
You know, and we're sort of going through this phase now where we're like, oh, let's reduce animals, and I can drill holes in those enclosures, and instead of having an enclosure that's 4 feet by 3 feet by 2 feet, I can now turn it into 8 feet by 3 feet, and then just have a divider. And it's like, well, it's less keeping because there's less animals, and I get to enjoy them more. And I find that, you know, we all go through this thing where it's like, oh, let's get everything, and then it's like, hang on, I don't really want everything.
Some of these things suck. It's like
this is work, you know, and that's the hard part, is you get excited about stuff and you go, right, I want to keep, and then you're like, oh, do I really want to keep all that stuff? And And then you're sort of like, but I don't know about you guys. I am so much of a fucking pain in the ass when it comes to actually moving animals on too, because I want to make sure. I'd rather give something away and know that it's going somewhere that is 100% spot on, and sell it. And because we keep a shitload of venomous stuff, we feel like we've actually got like a duty of care to make sure the people that are getting the animals got half an idea. Last thing I want is a phone call from an angry wife or an angry husband because their partner's just been killed because they've been dealing with something they shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
Shit. Venomous for me. I'm not playing that game, man.
I get bit too often. Got bit on the hand.
You know what though? It's funny, right? You can say that, and that's whatever. If you're not interested in it, you're not interested in it. But that's the other problem with venomous keeping is that people see people with venomous and they think that they're the upper echelon or for whatever reason. That's a load of shit. There's so many good keepers that don't keep venomous. It's not the best. You don't have to be. Snakes aren't hard to keep, and venomous snakes aren't any harder to keep than fucking anything else. It just means that if you make a mistake, you might pay for it.
There's another level.
It's the liability and the responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't want that liability, and I know that I am not the most responsible person out there. Okay, I'm fully aware of my shortcomings and my irresponsibilities, and I would do something dumb, leave a cage unlocked, leave a cage slightly open. There's something stupid that would happen that would be my fault and totally within my control, and I would do that just historically because sometimes I do that. And because
you can recognize this is exactly why you're the sort of person that should be keeping venomous. Because you actually understand that you can make a mistake. You're like, oh well, I can make a mistake. All right, and this is how I'm going to prevent it. Right. And it's not necessarily hard to prevent it. It's all about putting in systems in place and all the rest of it. But at the same time, it's the people that the ones that make it bad for everybody, and venomous keepers make it bad for non-venomous keepers because they're the dickhead that gets a rattlesnake and they go, well, I'm going to put it in a fish tank. I'm going to put a brick on the top of it to keep it lit there.
That'll do.
She'll be right. It'll be okay. And then suddenly, for whatever reason, someone else needs that brick, so they lift the brick off. They don't put it back. And then suddenly there's a rattlesnake loose in some fucking apartment.
There was that brick I was looking for.
Oh, that's how you used to keep snakes. No, just kidding.
That's how I still do it.
So that's sort of what it comes down to, But yeah, anyway, all good. All right, guys. Well, rant, and thingo aside. Keep doing what you're doing, Brandon. It's I can't wait to see more of this room of yours.
Thanks, Scott, man. I appreciate you. Always appreciate you. Thanks for coming on.
Cool. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Bye, Scott.
See ya.
Bye.
That's cool.
That was a fun little side trip. Yeah.
It's always fun hanging out with Scott.
We should send the link to more people who are vocal in the chat.
Yeah, there we go. We'll start linking it up. All right.
Yeah. Well, let's not go too far.
Well, we like to do at least maybe every couple of months do a NPR live stream on a Thursday night. It's always fun
when everything's working totally.
Brandon talked me into it. We were gonna do it, just record it solo, and he's like, what about live? He's like, yeah, maybe we should do it live.
That's way cooler.
Yeah, get interaction.
It was the NPR chat on Facebook.
Yeah, man.
Let me in.
Season 1, season 2 bullshit. So we were at season 12 or some. What is it? 11.
Dude, we're at
season 2. You let me come on. I think it was Dan Malari was on, and you guys let me randomly call in for like 10 minutes.
I remember that.
When people used to be able to call in.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Thank God that's
over.
Like, I have things to say. Let me on. And then I got the number. And
so actually, today on the 23rd is the very first episode of NPR we did.
There you go. You somehow squirreled your way on the anniversary show.
Post the link. Is there a link? Can you post the link?
Of the original show?
Of the original show? Yeah,
like, Eric in the bathroom talking to himself. Yeah.
It's horrible. I'll post it up. I'll post it up.
Nobody needs to go revisit season 1. I mean, come on, man.
Dude, season 1 was when it was. Dude, Carpet Pythons.
I'll admit it. It
you
is
had the book.
It is
you had the
best
podcast.
Lineup. We sucked.
First Carpet Fest happened, dude. God. Season 1 was that was where it was at.
It was the great lineup. We sucked. The audio sucked. The reports sucked.
I mean, but it's compared to now.
Yeah, I know.
Now,
it was great, man. I was
back
there
then.
For the record, I was there.
Yeah,
I was fucking there. I listened to it.
Right on. That's awesome. Yeah, Brandon's
you had less gray hair. I didn't have a beard. I think I was 12. I don't know.
Yeah.
Other things.
Yeah. I wasn't carrying around this extra
other
person.
things were flatter. Yeah. It was.
Good Lord.
I could move a cage without.
You had just
out.
coastal carpets.
Yeah, I had like 9 coastals, and I thought I was hot shit.
You were like, "Yeah, I'm the man.
I'm the man with my 9 coastals."
Yeah. Watch out.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, let's. I guess we can wrap it up here, and
I feel like we accomplished what we came to do.
Yeah, man.
I think we came on and ranted for 2 hours.
Awesome, man. I always appreciate you coming on, man. Brandon, you're a good dude. You got good insight, and you're the
only guy stuff. I know that I actually turned into a verb. So like
it was. Yeah, I think we said that a couple times in Australia. It's like we're up on the top of their Langy Mountain, and we're standing there. We're like, what do you think about us wheelering right off of this thing? Or when we're looking for timber rattlesnakes up in the mountains of Pennsylvania, like we could just wheeler right off of here, man.
My favorite is that we were talking about the we were talking about the flying snake. And I'm like, if you wheeler that shit off the top of Eric's house, will it fly?
Well, the thing is, I really do like jumping off of it.
I know. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I did not, but yeah, man, that's cool.
And you know what? It's
one of those things. Like, I'm kind of glad that it happened because it's a story, man. I mean, look. Hopefully, the reptile hobby's still going 20, 30 years from now, and Brandon will be going on a show, Herp history, something, and be like, yeah, when I was at Carpet Fest, he did this thing, I just wheelered right off the roof, man.
I imagine Brandon jumping ramps in his little rascal scooter when he's like 80 years old or something like that. Yeah. Like,
I don't scooter, dude. I ski.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Either one works. But
I can't wait to get on snow this year.
Yeah, and you know what? You weren't the craziest thing to happen at a Carpet Fest.
What? Something else happened that was nuttier?
Oh, dude, yeah. The last Carpet Fest was.
Well, I heard about the cucumber and the phone and the thing.
Yeah. I wasn't there for that either.
Are involved. It's a different.
Leave it at that. People who are in the know will know what you're talking about.
Yeah, everybody else is going to be like, "What?"
You know what you're talking about.
Your imagination is running wild with you. Yes,
that's all right. But yeah, not the craziest. Sorry, you're a very close second.
Fair though, that trophy you guys gave out,
the horse's ass. Yeah,
I fucking motivated that shit.
You did. You are the first.
You did.
I may have never gotten.
You're the winner.
But I'm the reason there is one, motherfucker.
It should be just you on. It should just be a trophy of you. Yeah. Of course, we didn't have anything to do with that. Just yeah. But either way,
good times, man. Good times.
Brandon, dude, throw your stuff out there. Contacts, anything you
got. A new website.
Yeah, dude. Load up.
MoreliaHouse.net. I also own .com. I'm just not savvy enough to figure out how to link the two together, so they go to
neither am I.
For now, it's .net. Morelia House on Instagram.
I can help you with that.
On YouTube. I do not check Morelia House on Facebook. So Brandon Wheeler on Facebook.
Cool.
You guys are awesome. I love this show. I love what you've done for the community. I love listening to you guys every week. I appreciate the entertainment, the fun, the laughs, and fucking thank you.
No,
join their Patreon. It's only like $10 a month. Right now, these guys are only getting like $300 a month from everybody, which is bullshit. And I think we need to get those numbers up. So, if you guys listen to this every week like I do, and you follow along and you've learned what you've learned, throw a little money at these fellas. Go to the Patreon. Give them a little bit of cash. They deserve it. Their shit, you can find linked on my website. So you go to moreliahouse.net, go to the link section. You click on NPR, and then they have their T-shirts, their coffee mugs, everything else.
Cool.
To support them. So thank you guys. I appreciate everything you do.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
No, this is awesome, and we'll catch up with you a little bit further down the road. Good luck with all your shit you got going on, and hopefully empty cages, full pockets at the show this Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, man.
So,
okay,
enjoy. Buy my shit.
There you go. That's the best. That's the best way to do that.
What do you got? Yeah. What do you got? What do you got? What are you selling?
What are you selling?
Carpets, granites, granite poplins. I've got some 50% hypo, possible het stripes. Maybe I'll sell you a hypo stripe. Maybe I have to like you, otherwise they're not for sale. I think I only have 1 or 2 left that are available. But yeah, I do have hypo stripe Bredley. Amazon tree boas.
Shit.
Tree boas, oranges and yellows. Jungle carpets, zebras. I have 3 female Brisbanes left, and that's all I've got left for the Brisbanes. I didn't put those on the website, so after the show, whatever doesn't sell, I'll put it on the website.
Cool.
I got a mail from them. I'm telling you, they're smoking hot. So if you're looking for a cool carpet python, that's the way to go. But cool.
Awesome. Well, all right. What I'll say, Eric, do we have to throw anything out there housekeeping wise?
Calendar contest.
Do it.
You got what? Like a week?
You got
till
like October 1st. October 1st, midnight.
Yeah.
It turns off. I don't want to hear any. You come to me at 1 a.m. Go fuck yourself. It's done.
Right.
You missed it.
There you go.
October 1st.
All right.
All right.
Owen's shutting that down.
I will.
And just as a side note, Darwin carpets are on the cover, in case you haven't noticed that.
All right.
And we haven't said, a couple of people have been messaging me on where that they submit. So Morelia Pick of the Week is a Facebook group that we have going on, and it's been there since probably about the dawn of the podcast.
Yes.
I think when Facebook was just coming out, right?
Right.
Yeah, go over there. There's a pin thread there. You can go on there and check it out and just post, what kind of snake it is, what
There's
category
rules.
it is. Yeah, you got
all
it.
The rules
just
are
read
right
it.
there.
That's
just
it.
read the thing, and you can take care of it. If you have any questions, just drop a message to me or Eric, and we can walk you through. But you have to go join the NPR Morelia Pick of the Week. You have to request access. So if you request and you're not
answer the damn questions, man.
Thank you. That's all you got to do. Answer the damn questions, and then we will get an alert. If you don't hear back or not let in within 24 hours, just drop us a private message on Facebook. I'll jump in there and I'll take care of it. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Owen's in charge of that stuff.
Damn right he is.
Right.
It's the only thing I do in this freaking program. I'm going to do it right.
What else do we got? So calendar contest. We took care of that.
I covered the Patreon.
He covers the Patreon.
Yeah, you got that.
He did that better than we do. So
yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I know. You're hired.
That's it. MoreliaPythonRadio.com. MoreliaPythonRadio.net if you want to follow the website. That's all I got.
Cool. So that's all we have for everybody tonight. So we'll say thanks all for listening, and we'll catch everybody back here next week for some more Morelia Python Radio. Good night.